like when my kids played soccer, you know.
Okay. You're Steve. Lady comes in. You're Steve.
All
right, guys. Hey, Matt here. We're at the Fly Stop in San Diego. We're getting rowdy, and we're gonna do some fly tying. Some stuff. That's my light. Sorry, it's in your way. But yeah, here we go. We're gonna get on the vise. I forgot my vise, so I had to get a loaner because I'm a loser. Not much I could do. My wife stole my truck and my vise along with it. So
Live with the truck being gone, but not the vise.
well, you know, if it was a Sprinter van, I would have been really pissed. That's my next goal in life, is a Sprinter van. So yeah, so I'll just like introduce myself for you guys that don't know. My name is Matt. If you've never seen, we do a live stream program where I tie flies for people on the internet. And my real job, other than tying flies for people on the internet, is I design all of Loon's products. So I'm also a rep, and hey Brent, how's it going? So we have people chiming in over here. So I'm talking to some weird guy over here. It's just Brent. He's on the internet checking us out.
That's kind of creepy.
It's super creepy. It's probably one of the weirdest things I've ever done, to be honest. But yeah, so I'm also the rep for Echo Airflow and Rage F Sports as of recently, which is kind of fun. And yeah, so I just travel the country all fall and visit shops, tie flies, and have fun. Don't get to fish much, but that's all right. We'll change that.
In the fishing industry, you don't fish much.
No, yeah. The more you get into the industry, the less you fish, right? Brent says hello to all of you. So we're going to start off basic. Some of the stuff might be a repeat for people on the live stream, and or if you've watched some of the recent ones, but we're going to tie just a woolly bugger. But I'll show you some secret tricks and tips to make them extra juicy, crispy style. Yeah, anything else about me? I'm actually a Regal Pro, so that's why I make the joke about forgetting my vise and getting in trouble. And I've never tied on this vise, so if I tie horribly, it's all this vice's fault, right? So in the vise, we're going to have, this is a newer style hook, but any of your standard hooks will work. You know, as far as like a long shanked hook that you would typically use for tying a woolly bugger. And
what is that hook?
hey Michael, how's it going? This is an Ahrex. It's one of the newer. It's a Nordic hook, super sharp, really sticky. I think it's, yeah. So that's the one thing with me is everything you'll probably see me tie tonight has a ridiculously large gap, or it's on a jig hook. Reason being is because I've guided on the rivers. I fished pretty much the whole western, United States, and I've truly never noticed fish shy away from a size 18 mayfly tied on a size 14 hook. Fish right behind guys, and the only thing I've ever noticed is that instead of getting like lip piercings like a punk rocker, you actually just get them like here. So especially on those bigger fish, you're not going to have that tendency to lose that fish just because you've just got him by the skin of his teeth, so to speak. Hey Bill, how's it going? Welcome aboard. You were in San Diego right now. Weather's beautiful. What is it, like 85 with 100% humidity?
It's terrible.
It's funny, I haven't, on my travels, I've been, I just got back from Washington, so I was in the Seattle area, and we had that typhoon hit. So I was literally on Puget Sound with 70-mile-per-hour winds, sustained. I have a family house up there, we're hanging out, I'm like watching this thing, it was built in 1940 by my grandfather, and I'm like tripping out, like looking at the windows just going like this, and I went outside and did video, and it's just constantly blowing. The rain was coming sideways off this like 100-foot bluff, just straight into us, so it's pretty wild.
It's the weirdest thing when you actually see it and you're sitting in front of the window and you watch the whole glass flex like an inch.
Absolutely.
It's very unnerving.
Absolutely. Hey Jason, how's it going? I'm glad that you have made it to the live stream. And so all I'm going to do is, because this is a woolly bugger, we're going to tie in our standard tail here. And this is woolly bugger marabou from Hairline. It's pretty standard. It's nice and small. You could use any marabou that you have though. This is a cool product. Senyo's Predator wrap. If you guys haven't played with this yet, it's probably one of the most versatile materials, and I'll pass it around here in a second once I cut my tiny little smidgen off. So it's a synthetic that's barred, and hey Mark, how's it going? And yeah, so it's barred, but when you look at it in the light, it's incredibly translucent. And I'm just going to kind of put a little bit of a stack here. And whenever I'm putting on legs or anything, I just kind of half the material. And whenever I look at flies or how a fly is tied, I imagine it from the front like a clock. So I put my legs on at 9 and 3. So it's, you know, close to me or away from me kind of a thing. And then, so we're going to get out some more materials. So the big thing with this and this technique that I'm going to do is, so traditionally with a woolly bugger, you got to like chase through with wire and, you know, to secure that schlappen or saddle hackle. Hey Danny, welcome. It's going well. I've avoided traffic, so it's excellent. Did not avoid traffic in Los Angeles last night.
You can't avoid traffic.
No, you can't avoid traffic in Los Angeles.
In the morning, there's traffic.
True. Yeah, I was sitting there and like, I left like Fullerton at like 3:30, and I got home at 9:30. Probably something like that. It was pretty wicked. I hurt afterwards. I was not feeling great. So this is just a slight little smidgen of ice dub, and I just do that just to push, just to create myself like a little bit of leeway. And the thread that I'm tying with, if you notice, I'll never change my thread because it's always going to be white. And it's a squeaky because it's this spool, but it's a 50 denier GSP. And what I'm doing is pulling a dubbing loop. Oh boy. Don't fear the Reaper. Okay. Hey Bob, how's it going? Am I using a flat top? I'm using I don't know what it's called, Danny. It's a Canon Handycam. It's kind of interesting. So this year with Loon, I did this in 3D CAD. You guys have seen this. It's the Gator Grip, but it's a new dubbing spinner for doing loops. One thing I always thought is I like to be able to interchange the tips of my stuff, and I'll show you that on the next step of this fly. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome.
Yeah.
Doing well, man. So this is like your traditional dubbing spinner. You know, if you're in a rough neighborhood, you can wear it as brass knuckles. So it's a real versatile tool. But really the loop's there so we can palmer through. And you guys will see that. It's also rather heavy.
You show them the other part that it comes with as well for us?
And that's next.
Ah.
That's the next step. So that's why you buy 2 of them, so you don't have to change the tool ever. You just have to have...
idea.
Yeah, you just have to have multiples. It's alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a dubbing loop using some of our Predator wrap. Uh-oh. Hey Jason, hello. Andrew, hello. We have a live stream going too. So guys are like, who knows where. Usually it's like 22 countries, and yeah. So what I do is, so there's a guy named Jerry French, and he has kind of created this little maneuver called a composite loop, but it's just doing a dubbing brush technically on your table in front of you, and then we put it into our vise in our dubbing loop. So you can see I've shrunk down this Predator wrap, and you just kind of haphazardly lay it in there. I don't want it to be really consistent, but if you have like a machine that makes dubbing brushes, like Stonfo makes an awesome one through Hairline that, you know, it kind of mounts on your vise and you can do cool brushes and stuff. My travel space was limited when I have 58 fly rods with me and all this other junk that I'm packing around, rod racks and stuff. And then all we do is we're going to set more ice dub on top, and it's going to create like a sandwich. So the key to the sandwich is just pushing in here, and then you can pick it up and hold this, all of this sandwich materials directly in here. And you know, some's gonna pop out. How's it going, guys?
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome, and hello.
Oh, this is Daryl, and this is my other brother Daryl.
Yeah.
Right on, Daryl's. Nice to meet you. So if we get a little bit wild, we can kind of push it back in there. And when I do a dubbing loop, what I like to do is I'm going to support this and I'm going to pinch, actually, and try to do it not as wild. So you can see the dubbing loop is not actually, you know, you're not spinning any of your material. And the reason I'm using a 50 is because you can't break. I could bend this hook out. So as I slide my finger down, you're going to notice that brush start to spin, 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 spin. So this is a cool little guy. It's made by EP, and it looks like some sort of like evil monster. So what you do is you just kind of cruise in here, and you just absolutely, and you're holding pressure down. If you notice with my left hand, I'm holding all this pressure, and you can just rip, and that's everything that would have flown out with your first, you know, supersonic cast that you made, and caused trouble. So we'll take a few wraps here. Oops. Danny says last time. Yeah, the videos and the shows, it's awesome because guys will, you know, actually it's kind of cool too. Like if you see something that you like, it'll always be on Loon's website and on our live stream, and you guys can kind of cruise back and rewatch it. So I'm just going to set this back here in this material clip looking deal for now. And this is just a schlappen feather, kind of an olive schlappen. And we'll get rid of the rest of that. So you just want to dress everything up kind of in advance. Get it out of there. And we want to build that taper. So we'll do a few wraps, get rid of the tip. And this is a cool material. It's like that UV polar chenille, but they're calling it a reflector flash. So what it is it looks like they've dyed over like a silver mylar with color. So it's a really cool way to add some flash into your flies. Thought it was what? Pot scrubber? It does kind of look like a Brillo pad, right? See, now if we were in Oregon and Washington, that would have a completely different meaning. So all we're going to do now is, so this other one, and this is where that joke will even be more relevant, you have this clip, and so we're just going to clip all of these materials together, and I'll just snatch the excess there. And this little technique, there's been a number of guys that do it, but the guys from Fly Fish Food, Cheech and Curtis, have dubbed it the complex twist, because we've basically integrated the schlappen, the dubbing loop that we've created, and that flash all together in one. And if you wanted, you can go tungsten bead, you can do a wire under wrap, anything like that. I actually love having all these tools because I don't have to use UV resin on every single fly now to make my demo relevant to a loon, you know. So you can see we just go ahead and throw in our wraps. When we get up front here, we'll just catch the end of that. With that 50, you can really just crunch down and destroy, as I like to call it. Cut through 15 layers of materials. And I don't have names for my flies except for like one tonight, and it's going to be called the meatball, and that's because my 5-year-old daughter named it the meatball. So I don't believe in naming your own flies. They're kind of like gifts given to you by friends. So this is just my woolly bugger. Now that is really woolly. Yes, it is. But yeah, so at the end of it, you can see you have this super crazy multi-material loop done up, and it's absolutely awesome. Hey Ed, how's it going? The whole set works great, thanks. We have a lot of guys on like the live stream that have like all these tools.
I love that twister. I've been wanting for one to come out like that for a while.
You know, it was like so hard for me because I start out and I do 3D prints. So I had them in plastic, and then I went to they can 3D print stainless. I tried to get a gold one made, solid gold. They'll 3D print in 24 karat. It was like $3,000. Loon wasn't having it. That was kind of bummer. I did.
It's yellow.
I did
Get
try.
10,000
Yeah,
of them, they're down to a grand.
yeah. You just have to buy it. Well, does that work with
On those things? Mine has that paint chipping off it already.
lifetime warranty on anything from Loon?
On the clipper one?
All your tools, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anything with Loon, it self destructs. Anything like that. You know, we believe people are honest, so we have a lifetime warranty on everything. Because, I mean, let's face it, anybody could take a pair of tying scissors and kill them inside of a day. I mean, I could do it in like 30 seconds here. But, you know, we just go on the honesty thing. But, yeah.
The fisherman?
We're not talking about how many you caught. The Revolution mark, yeah, is unfortunately in my wife's, or my wife has it in the car. And, is that what went bad? That guy, the clip.
Yeah, okay.
There you go. You have a new clip. I don't want your old one.
The paint was kind of like drifting off here. I'm afraid
Yeah.
Greg's gonna hit it and like.
Nah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. No, the Revolution is at home. I'm on a loaner vice. It's not good. I'm not comfortable.
That's why his fly's just so ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really tied poorly. I don't take any of them home, so if you guys see something that you like, want to play with fish, take it. So that's also how I operate. I don't hold on to much.
You're so tense.
Am I?
Oh, God.
Super high strung, right? You should try having a guide day with me. I just yell at you all the day that you've missed every damn fish.
That's not true. I've done that.
So
No, you usually yell at him.
No, he usually goes,
that's the hairy pumpkin.
you think that was a fish, Steve? I do. No, I was about, okay.
Or else I tell you that I don't know. I'm not down there. You think that was a fish? Went under. Or no, I'm not down there. I can't see. That's kind of how it works out. The roach clips. Yeah, Bobby.
That's what they are.
The roach clip. Well, that's what they got called in Oregon and Washington the whole time. Everybody's like, yeah, you got a roach clip. And I was like, yeah, it's legal though.
Well, they can probably grab one, take a dink, go over, and then do their complex twist.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
That's why you have to have two of them, right?
Yep. You don't want to contaminate.
No, you guys completely just switch over. You can drop one over, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
What is it, puff puff tie?
So yeah, that actually was the little clip is actually a collaboration with the Fly Fish Food guys and their Gator Grip dubbing spinner.
Gotcha.
So they bailed out of doing that when they came on with us as ambassadors and stuff like that. There's lots of roach clip comments. I will abstain. So this is kind of a different hook. I'm going to tie a soft hackle, and if any of you guys have fished soft hackles, they're usually kind of straight. I like to put a little bend in them, make them look a little bit more interesting. So this is actually a clink hammer hook. So typically you'd be tying like some dry on there like that, but I just dig the buggy bend, and this will end up being some sort of mayfly-esque green drakey thing at the end. Cheech is a Mormon. I doubt that he's really that stony, Jason. So with this, I don't go too deep into the bend like you would with like a traditional clink. And if you guys don't know, like so like the Uber test, like there's a little product pushing here, but I hand sharpen all of our scissors, so I take a lot of pride in it. I like sharp things. Like my knives are like reflective on the blades. Like you look at it, and I told the guys at Loon, I was like, I want it to be like you look at it, and it cuts stuff. So this is GSP. If you've ever tried to cut it, you know it works great when you pull it really tight, but just to cut through on it limp, So they're all hand sharpened here in the U.S., which is kind of cool. We take a little bit of pride in that. I think you grabbed a set of the black ones. Those have touched my... I sharpen those. So this is a partridge feather, and if you guys buy a partridge, it's probably just best to buy the whole partridge ever. And then once you get like really into it, then you can just start buying partridge in a couple colorways, because you'll go through it. It's super good for legs and everything like that. A lot of them I dye up at home and stuff. The Clink Extreme. I have the Daiichi. I have a Daiichi 1160. Watch, now I just blew the whole focus of the whole live stream by doing that. So I'm just going to throw a quick tail in here, and I'm a believer in fish can't count. So a lot of guys go, man, you have 7 legs on that fly, it looks like. You know, I don't think they attended our public education system, and possibly if they did, they still might not be able to count. So hopefully there's no teachers in the room. So I just threw kind of a little bit of a tail. Had a little too much on that one. Not a ton. And so like with your mayflies, stuff like that, these things are going to get slimed up, chewed up by fish, and having a few extras so you don't have to deal with it is just fine. And probably one of my favorite materials is just biots. Makes a great segmented body. They're not super durable, so you have to like rewrap them with wire, or we can just use a UV resin. And depending on the viscosity that you use, I am told that these new extreme clean cameras will change my life. I probably will end up buying some, Jason, because I'm a known hook whore. But yeah, so the cool thing with the UV resin is it'll actually bind everything through the whole fly. And being that this is actually, you know, translucent enough, I don't think that geese and ducks come with UV inhibiting properties. So it'll probably cure right through it as well. So this is just a hackle plier. Everybody asks me the name of it. I think it's called a tying tools. You can probably tell where I got my inspiration for my dubbing spinner is playing with this guy quite a bit.
He calls him Hackle Tweed.
Is that what they called him?
Yeah.
This company? Oh. I know they come in like a blue bag, and I lose them, so that's why they have fly line attached to the back of them. And they're like $10, and I spend like $20 a month on them. Are they more?
No, they just work.
Yeah, they. You know, I've used every single hackle chingus in the world, and that one never lets me down. So, invest in one of those if you do anything with hackling or wrapping things and such. So basically, fly tying. You know. Oh, see, look at this. How many guys are going to ask me about the Dyna King this evening? I forgot my vise at home, Danny, and I'm on a loner. So this is our fluorescing flow, and it's pretty interesting. So as you go through the color spectrum in the water, you know, your reds, oranges, and browns are filtered out rather quickly. What this does is it actually takes the available light, redistributes the light, and color corrects at depths. So when you guys are all mid fishing on Crowley at 22 feet with that awesome reg mid, it's not red. But this, I forget it's not Ernie, it's one of the other main guides up there. I turned him on to some of this stuff last year at the Pleasanton show. Ran into him at the Trout Fitters parking lot, and he's like, my client's just using this. Like, he's like science experimenting.
His guy, Cog, or?
No, he's not. I think he's an indie. But he's like, yeah, might be. Yeah. And he goes, I'm having this guy in the front of the boat use the fluorescing just to test your... He's like, I think you're BSing me. And he's like, but he's catching more fish. So you had one guy in the front and back fishing same bug, different UV resin over the top. So right now, obviously UV resin never sets unless it's impinged upon in light. So if you mix in with like powders and stuff like that, I'll leave this on my bench for like a month. Come back to it because I've probably been on the road for a month and go and tie again with it. And it works just the same if you have new windows. If you have the older windows, like from the 70s, the UV light goes through those. Be careful. Just be forewarned. Because I have newer windows, so when I say that, I forgot. I'm like, oh wait, not everybody has a newer window. But you see this real bright glow behind it. That's actually that fluorescing compound in there.
Matt, can I get you to tie that half without that so they can actually see the difference when you put that UV light on it?
Oh, you mean like the difference
Yeah,
between
do
the...
one half one like that. Or,
Watch. I could just do it right in here. Watch. So this is a standard. This is our thick. I call it Cold Aunt Jemima typically. It's a higher build formula. So, and I'll show everybody here in the world. So you can see the glow.
Oh, man.
So that's what happens when UV light hits that. So like all my steelhead flies, I have the Hazels from the Deschutes Angler. I tied him a bunch of flies going to Belize. And she tied a bunch of flies going to Belize. Crazy Charlie, stuff like that. She fished fluorescing the whole time. And she was like, we're on the same atoll, same flat, whatever it might be. And she was like, we're fishing the same pot of fish, multiple casts. And she's like, I hooked up. It's like, Amy, you're an amazing angler. But she feels that it makes a difference. It's a pretty interesting compound that we've got worked in there. So, see, Brent, what are you talking about? This thing? It's Tires Tools, is that correct? And it's just a hackle plier. It's super simple. It's so simple. I'm angry that I didn't invent it first. It's usually how it goes.
I will.
What? Get some of those?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're cool, man. They do a good job. Sorry.
That's alright, I will wait until you
Yeah. Fish can't get enough of peacock, so I dig some peacock on a lot of flies. So I just put a little thread bump for like a thorax. Tag it in. And the other thing I love immensely in the world is CDC. So jigs, I'll tie a ton of stuff tonight, but a lot of it will be based around tying with CDC. And I'm not going really heavy with this. I'm not going to put it in a stacker or anything overly fancy at this point. Because we're going to follow it up with a little partridge. Even that tip, it can stay in there. I'm not worried about it. So one of my applications for this fly, like I've told you guys, I live on the lower Sac, like right in town in Reading. And I do a lot of trout spay now. So I swing a lot of flies because there's just a ton of killer swing water there. So I'll swing all these bugs a lot of the times, just like soft tackling, real traditional stuff. I like the steelheads, so I just incorporate it into like a small three-weight trout spay rod. Tricks. I have lots of tricks. That's what happens when you spend most of your life on the phone with an earbud tying flies. If you guys were going to tie, a lot of any of the patterns, materials prep is super huge. Like even if you're sitting down to tie a dozen and you strip everything out and you can sit down, makes your life so much better. Partridge can be a little bit fickle as far as a hackle goes. You can break them, so I just like to be real soft with them, and sometimes I'll throw them in a hackle plier, other times I won't. But And then I just really wrap. Because this thread is so fine, I'm not really worried about building a huge bulbous head on this little fly. And we don't make a whip finish tool because I don't use one. So I've never seen the So when I was telling you guys about really only using one color of thread, it's because they made this invention called a pen. And it's awesome, and they have colors. So when I get done, if I want this to be black or green or whatever it may end up being, I'll just go ahead and then color the head of this fly. Oh, check the focus. It's pretty bad, huh? Let's see. I'm glad you guys are paying attention, Michael. Well, that's even worse. It's probably pretty rough too because I have a bright shirt on. Now I'll just finger lock you. There we go. I think that should help out. And so, because I am ADD and highly impatient with most things in the world, I no longer use head cements. I just use UV resin, and the cool thing with this is it's so thin that it's going to push back into all those materials that you just tied with, and it'll actually kind of just glue them all in place. This is very foreign rotation to me.
What do you normally tie on?
I tie on a Regal Revolution. I'm actually a Regal Pro, so I'm hoping they don't get really mad at me. Because my wife took my truck with the vise underneath the kids' seats, and I was like, gonna wake. I would have had to like wake the kids up to get to it. You don't wake sleeping children. It's not advisable. And then go, here you go, honey. I'm going to do a fly tying demo. It's also not conducive to like a long marriage.
Or being able to go fishing on your days off.
I take the kids. My 3 and 5-year-old they're on it.
Nice.
It's pretty scary. My 3-year-old cut his teeth like a few months ago. We finally let him like do his whole own thing, and we're sitting out there on this big flat, and we're fishing like an airlock, bright orange airlock, and no problem, Bill. My pleasure. Sorry. Yeah, the shirt's horrible. I know. Thanks. Well, it's bad for video and tying. I usually wear plain colors, which is probably in that bag. Yeah. Thanks.
I'm
Awesome.
gonna get you one of those like baby bib.
I do. I need to get one of the Veda tying aprons, just in like flat color, made. Yeah. So we're sitting there, and he's like, he's fiddling with the line, and he knows upstream men now, and he looks down, and he goes, "Dad, the ball's gone," because he calls it a ball. Set the hook, man. Whack! Lands a 20-inch rainbow. Thing almost took. I had tied the rod to a bungee cord. It's like almost ripping out of his little hand.
Huh.
So, yeah. Now every time I get home from a road trip, I said, "What do you want to do?" He's "We gotta go river and catch rainbow trouts." Kind of, with his 3-year-old speech impediment kind of going on. But,
Why don't you say no to that?
Yeah.
no, he just goes, and I just kind of tether him in. And, yeah, he just goes to town.
That's how I learned tuna fishing. Literally tied me to the rod, and then tied me back to the back of my thing, up against the rail. I'd be sitting there, feet up off the thing, over the side. Guys with me, he's all good. He's not in the water yet.
Yeah, that's kind of my introduction to ocean fishing as well. So I don't know. Let's see how small I got. Oh, it's going to be good. I'll pass this.
You guys have been getting some weather up there, huh?
Yeah. Not as bad as Washington, but pretty good.
My brother's building a house at Lake Shastina. It blew the tide back off.
Well, he's building a house in Lake Shastina. The wind blows, it snows up from the ground there. I did my paramedic program in Weed, And like you'd get out of like school and you'd be like driving down and like the snow's coming, like the wind's so weird there, it like does these swirls and like snow's going straight up in the air and you're like $50 size flakes and you're like, this is not good. I am glad.
What else do you think's gonna happen normal in weed?
Not much. It's a kind of a wild place, man.
To say the least.
It used to be like my favorite, like going to school and you'd see like the stoner kid and he's like in front of the sign and it said college or weed and he's all, and he like looks all puzzled. You're like, all right. Then they changed it to bend and weed just to stop random photography.
I was gonna make you stop by a corn and olive place if you haven't been by there too. Ooh.
Does the flow cure tacky? No, it does not cure tacky. It is very. It has like almost a slight residue to it, but it depends on your light. So everything's dependent on the light. It's a good question. I have lights that would scare most people, and the more powerful the light, the better your cures are on resins. Just so you guys know too.
You can always hit it and then put them on a thing and then bring them out in the sun the next day. That gets rid of the tack.
Keep the batteries fresh.
Yeah, I want to get away. I'm kind of over batteries in my life. Things that plug in because I don't do well with them. My boat, my battery, anything. So this is a tungsten bead. It's a new color. It's called blood red. If you guys see stuff in here that you can't live without, these are all the new tungsten beads. And the ones that look like jawbreakers, you can laugh at them and think it's really funny, but I've been fishing PTs with jawbreaker beads for like 6 months now, and I've noticed not even a skip of bead. Yeah. And the first one we tied with, that's called a gritty bead, so it's pretty good. Yes, it is a Loon torch. So we actually have all of our, there's a lot of lights you can buy off the internet. I'm not sure really what wavelength they are. Every UV resin cures inside of a certain wavelength. So I mean, we're very open and honest about it with ours. It's 395 to 405 is our cure ratio, but we have our chipsets built. Another big thing is like a lot of guys get the ones that are like this big with like 10,000 lights in there. Doesn't make it brighter. It's actually the chipsets that make it brighter, not the number of like half a amp or watt or lumen LEDs that you have. It's not a multiplication product, I have 80, it's going to be so great.
Well, the problem is there's like in between areas, so you like have to
right.
line up that LED.
Yeah. So like with this guy, it's 4 watts, which is a weird measurement of light because it's actually kind of a measurement of power consumption. So it should actually be measured in lumens, but we can't ever get a lumen count from our manufacturer. I don't know if they don't. I don't know why. It is a frustration in my life. They'll tell you that UV is not measured in lumens. So it's like, yeah, this one, if I put it on enough resin, it smokes. Yeah, that's probably pretty bright. Okay, cool, we'll use that one. Is my scientific approach to things.
There's no standard for lumen measurement anyway, so it could be whatever you want it to be.
Right. Yeah. There's too many variables where guys are like, yeah, I got this thing, and you're like, yeah, I don't, that's not that bright, but it's not 2,000 lumens. I'm really sorry. So this is like a Brahma hen, or you can just use any hen saddle here. But it's just, again, trout can't count. I throw in a few extra on the tail. I should just make a sticker that says trout can't count.
Copyright that.
I should. Can somebody copyright out that out there on the internet for me? So all I'm doing now, the biggest downfall to tying with the 50 denier is if you're trying to taper a body. So this is going to be really kind of, for lack of better terms, Euro nymph-esque. I despise the term Euro nymphs or Czech nymphs, and it's a style of nymph, but it's not like the origination of the actual fishing style where you're high sticking, because there's some guys up on Dunsmuir that were like doing the same thing since like 1920 and 30, 40. Like you look at ever go to the Ted Face shop and you'll see these guys. They have these classic flies. They're called bombers. And what a bomber consisted of, just to put it in perspective, is you put half this spool of lead, pretty much. You get 0.35 lead, and you do a wrap up, back, wrap some thread in. You threw some tail in there, some floss, maybe some wire, whatever you had, and then a soft hackle. And I mean, the things like when you lob them, and those guys were doing technically high stick check nymph style fishing since there was even a Japanese hook market in the United States. I know the reps that went in there for the first time with Tiemco hooks, and the looks that they got, they're like, I mean, you have to imagine a bunch of World War I and II veterans that just got done fighting. That you want me to buy a Japanese styled hook? We tying mustad here, okay? But they've been doing this like high stick technique for eons. It's really kind of it's not a new technique, but it's just been popularized and obviously freshened up quite a bit with new materials, stuff like that. They didn't have tungsten, you know, on a size 14 with a tungsten bead that large. We're getting down really quick. And don't be afraid to go ridiculously oversized on your beads. I've done snorkel studies like where I'm sitting in there in an eddy right off of a riffle with my snorkel on, going, dude, there's no way this thing is even going to move. And it's sitting in there like this, just kicking along, and it's just bouncing, and you're like, that's the biggest tungsten bead I could find on like a size 14 that'll fit. Don't be frightful of it. It's, you know, it doesn't move like a soft tackle will, so there's spaces for everything. Trail it with a soft tackle, you know, trust me. You'll get picked up on a soft tackle too many times. Let's see. I've seen no discolor in the UV. Oh, yeah. No, it doesn't discolor. I have found so far. When we reworked the formula, we tried to get it like as pure as possible which then took away any possibilities of discoloration, which seemed kind of cool. So again, we're going to bring in some Predator wrap. This happens to be a red. It's a red silver barred with black, and I'm going to get 3 strands of this. And this is actually, this is what I would call, say, in this nymph, well, this is the meatball, but it comes in a stack of colors. The red one just happened to be the meatball, so now they're all just meatballs. So this is what I'm tying for like a PMD nymph, something like that. And I did a base layer of copper flash, and I'll show you where that kind of comes in. If I can get the 2 around here. What station are we listening to? They just went from very aggressive Guns N' Roses welcoming to the jungle to some Doors. I kind of like it.
What's that winner over there?
Huh? No, that one's that's my Siri. Or not Siri, whatever. Spotify. Spotify may have been drinking a little bit.
And this is just like a small. It's not really. We don't need this wire because once I UV bond this, and I just go all the way up in. So when you watch, I'll push this all the way up into the bead, and then take my wraps in, and I'll bring it right down over the top, and I'll leave enough space for, you can see there's just a tiny bit between here and here. I mean, it's like a 1/16 or a 32nd of an inch, and then we'll come back in and completely coat this guy. So I'm going to do a full smoothed out underbody, and we will separate copper from the red to our best of our abilities, because we're going to go with copper first. So the copper, so again, you're not going to see any of the thread. I don't know if the thread color actually changes the way that I tie it all. But you can notice I doubled up 2 strands, and that's just so I can really quickly. Do I guide the upper sack? I do not. I can. I have a permit for it, but I don't really have that much time to guide anymore.
Because you're making roach clips?
because I'm making roach. Exactly. My motivation went way down once I started making roach clips.
Your hunger goes way up.
Yeah. I gained 5 pounds, but don't have the time to guide anymore. No, I'm just on the road too much and visiting stuff and shops, and so it's kind of weird. So we're going to take this, which is kind of a streamer material by its nature, and we're going to go ahead and palm it over, just create a full body out of this predator wrap. But the result will be this cool segmented changing body. And then I'll just go ahead and I'll pull in this small wire real quick. Not a ton of wraps, and it's just going to help aid with our segmentation. Man, the roach clip's getting more play than anything else. So this is, again, some flow with the fluorescing agent. And I'm just going to coat this whole body. And when you see this nymph, it looks like nothing for the most part. I do throw a little bit of leg on there, but you can see it really glow, and copper Flashaboo doesn't glow like that. And you can spread the tails out so it looks really special, like in your box. You're like, yeah, that's the one. Not that it matters. What's that?
This is just water, they go like that.
Yeah, they get smushed a little bit. They take a bit of a beating.
Yeah, but it looks good beforehand.
Right.
That's all that
matters.
That's all matters. Flies catch fishermen.
Looks good to you.
That's how guys make the most money. You could have like the greatest thin-quilled little bug will catch the most fish ever. The bin's just like full. And you have this super flashy looking Chingus over here, and it's like all the ADD. Everybody's just stay over here. You're like, oh, that looks really boring. I don't
always
like
had an ugly fly that always worked for me. It's kind of like a destroyed hare's ears, what it would look like.
Yeah.
And I felt bad to fit because people look at it and be like, you already fished this thing like 10 times. What are you doing giving me this fly? So I give him a brand new fly, and I'd hide that one. And then during I'd see him get a tangle or something like that, go over and I'd switch the fly out real quick and not tell him about it. So they still have the confidence of fishing that really cool fly, but they're fishing the actual right fly. One of the couple of dirty tricks I know.
So I just throw in some more of that hen. If you have a hen saddle, I just like that mottled look. If you had, if you wanted to use the partridge, partridge does really good in this application too. 9 and 3. So I address all my flies like I'm looking at them like a clock. So like if I'm doing instructions, like this is the 3, 9, 12, 6. Just lets guys know. I should put some ice dub in there. I have some ice dub. I was getting ice dub for the collar. Oddly enough, I'm using PT, which is actually pretty close to golden brown. And you can change these guys up to kind of meet any specification or bug. Times smaller for like betas, stuff like that. Works out pretty well. So I just throw a few, so you can see like how much you can just bend this hook out with the GSP. You won't ever break this if you suffer from breaking problems in the vise. So that's been a pretty good nymph for me on the lower sack. Well, the shoots, a couple other areas too. And you can tie it skinnier or fatter depending on what you want as well, just to kind of mix it up a bit. Wow, that one, it's a 14, but it's a Daiichi 11, or yeah, it's a Daiichi 1130. So it's just a wide gap. They say it's for scuds, shrimp, grubs, pupa, and sand oneworms. But I just like the hook gap on it, and caught fish up to like 20, like rainbows up to 26 without bending it out, so I'm fairly confident in it. So, let's see. Alright, I'll give you guys some... Man, I'm doing great. That's like 20 minutes of fly. The sack attack. Yes, ice dub is my favorite. There'll be somebody that'll probably jump on here and ask me why I don't have any peacock black ice dub, but it's right here, so it'll be alright. It's my favorite. It's like the best ice dub in the world. So I think I'll tie one more nymph, and then for a bit, and then we can tie some other saltwatery stuff and streamer stuff.
Could you do that one clouser minnow using the sinews hard? You had the one clouser, the rainbow one?
Oh, yeah. Do I have... I can kind of rainbow it. I have green and...
Not close enough.
Yeah, I'll be close. I'll tie one more nymph and then I'll jump into that and do some clousery stuff. So, since we're in SoCal, this next fly actually does have a name. My buddy named it, but it's called the El Vato. The El Vato caddis. So it's on a Daiichi 1150 hook, and again the description for this hook is grubby, pupa-y. All I look at is wide gap, wide gap, wide gap. This is a little bigger guy. This is a size 8, but it'll probably end up being like a 12. Bigger caddis. And oh wait, you have to adjust this thing. I'm not used to adjusting things. Oh boy, too far. All right. If you guys have any questions, just ask me, even if it's weird. If you think it's like a weird question,
You have the internet in front of you. You got a weird question.
Yeah, you got all the weird questions you need.
chatmongers call the materials. Oh God. Okay. Do we fish the Frenchy nymph? We do. Yeah, I fish French style nymphs quite a bit. Man, I don't know. I don't have that many materials here. We are kind of... They want me to iron fly it. They want to call materials and make me tie with it.
Who gets the most beers? They get to choose the fly materials.
Wait.
So this is a micro pearl core braid, and the reason I dig this stuff is, well, it's just this cool round material that makes great looking caddis bodies. So I burn the end of it to turn into a great looking caddis body. All I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap back just a few turns. So you can see we're getting this kind of cool profile. So once we have it secured, I want to go ahead and lock it in. You guys will notice that I did thread wraps all the way back in here. First, like I was going to start at the tail of a fly. So all I do is I'm just going to drop in the UV resin all the way through, and it's going to marinate down into these thread wraps here. So I always think of sometimes tying flies like fiberglass. So you have all these synthetic materials with a resin compound, and now you're able to make a different body. So it ends up being really translucent and looks pretty cool. This stuff's expensive but worth it. It's a medallion wing sheeting. It's actually made in the US by Hairline, so I kind of dig it extra. But it's pretty expensive. It's like $6 for that little package. And I lose it like all the time. So I'm like, ah! Freak out. Lost my... I think someday I'll find like a ton of it, you know, in the bottom of various bags, because I just end up with like a new tying bag. Oh boy, the internet. How many times? They want me to add some pizzazz. Well, maybe the guys sitting in front of us haven't seen it, Jason. I'll pizzazz it up here in a bit.
The internet's really opinionated.
They're kind of mild.
It's actually pretty. It's pretty mellow tonight. It's actually really mellow tonight. They're behaving.
You switch nights.
I did. I threw them off.
You threw them off, right?
They're off their game tonight. They haven't.
The usual suspects are not in.
Yeah, Cheech isn't on there heckling me. Aaron's not on there. I don't see Matt Ebers. So like it's like an open game for like most of like the Loon ambassadors to come on and just like log on underneath some interesting weird name, and you're like, Joey from Utah. Okay, Joey. Why are you so dumb? You look like you're inbred. And you're like, oh god. It's just never ending and continuous fun. So what I do is I just fold it in half, and then I'm going to cut it where the fold is actually a little bit lower. And what we end up with is you'll be able to use that again, but you get this cool caddis wing. And I'll just tint them out just a little bit more. It doesn't have to be, you know, super round. They can't count, but they also only have 3 seconds to see things, you know, on a lot of occasions.
So you have an advantage.
So I feel like I have a cool advantage here. So I'm going to take that fold, and then I'll just crunch it in there. And I'm actually fishing this more as like a spent caddis. So you can see you're going to get these cool caddisy wings.
Have you transferred that into a nymph form using that same method for the core and all that?
Same method for the core. I actually will do a wing bud. And I'm going to put CDC and other stuff in here too. But yeah, I'll just throw a bead head on it and then just use it as a nymph.
Instead of doing the foam on it?
Right. The foam's pretty minimal. It's just standard brown foam. You could throw parapost on this if you have sight issues of any kind with seeing small things really sitting low in the water at dark. So like most of the time when I fish this fly, it's pretty much dark out because the lower stack only fishes dries 90% of the time at night, like right the last moments of the day. Okay. So dubbing loop again, and this is where we'll get weird. So we're gonna take deer hair.
Getting weird on a Friday.
Here comes the carcass.
The internet asks for pizzazz, you give them pizzazz.
Dang it, we have to deliver their pizzazz. Possibly some like pieces of flair or something.
You don't have enough flair on the fly.
There's not enough flair on the fly. We need more flair.
More flare.
It'll turn out to be a musky fly.
So we started out with a size 14 caddis here. We've progressed, and now we're going after Makos, guys.
We got it.
So with all of your dubbing, when you get it out, you want to kind of, if you watch me, I'll start pulling it. And you want to kind of pull it like nice and level. And so we just take a little pinch of deer hair. We'll pull out everything we don't like. And then so all this stuff that you're supposed to use and we float, we'll just cut it right out and get rid of it. You guys had to like, there was so much ice in that cooler I didn't even know there was beer. So I just kind of sprinkle the deer hair in there. Then I'll grab a stack of black hares here. Okay, I'll tie a black hares here. That sounds very pizzazzy. So all I'll do now is I just strip down like 3 CDC fibers, and we're just going to lay that in here as well. So we get this kind of cool loop of the stack of material.
You don't really use too many of the clips for that?
I try not. I mean, I do use some clips, but I try not to. And maybe it's just me pushing myself, but I forget everything. As you can see, I didn't show up with a vise to do a tying demo.
So you've had another 10 people ask about that already?
Yeah. You want to do a Loon Live guest spot? I would love it. You have to come to Northern California, though, Jason. Not going on the road. So you can see now we have this brush built up with deer hair and spiky stuff and CDC, and we're just going to treat it just like it was a hackle. We just keep kind of pushing it over itself.
You guys ever worked with throwing in multiple materials on those? It's so much fun. I'll actually do a woolly bugger stub with rabbit. So I'll do just cut the whole strip and dub the whole thing with rabbit.
So now we'll just pull that foam back to make this big foam ball here. Give it a trim. So this guy actually, you can skate it, do all sorts of stuff with it as well.
Interesting. I wouldn't know.
Oops. Kind of.
It's pretty slender though.
That one I use a plastic clip on.
Let's look at really slender.
That's why I was doing.
And I'll just trim this back down even further. UV up top,
Yeah, that one actually.
UV down below. I'm not really worried about the thread showing through at all, but
We've done that with that or
bend the wings out to make myself feel good. But yeah, so it's kind of just a Avi posting drowned caddis pattern. It might, Jason. Jason's a good heckler. I'm enjoying his heckling tonight.
Yeah, it makes it look so weak.
Well,
I know.
I think the last 10 comments has come from him.
Material.
Alrighty.
Okay.
same thing, so you can make now really thin flies, not over bulky.
Yeah.
So we'll do Clousery thing. Clouser-esque thing of sorts.
Say it like Arnold does.
I don't think I've got any rings on there. I get bored every once in a while.
So these are going to be, so instead of doing dumbbell eyes, because that's boring and they want pizzazz, thanks Danny, appreciate it. Find some hooks.
How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Ugh. These things are pretty indispensable for your materials though.
Yeah.
Just binder clips. So this is just like a super light wire salt hook black chrome finish. And these are a cool new bead. Pizzazz. So I'm going to take these new beads, which are, they're actually called an Insta Jig bead. So I'll pass them around. And what they do is they keel your fly.
saw this, right? You don't see it?
You might have had to fish the nymph version, right, Steve?
I thought you only fished them the bad stuff, like what's left over and was kind of rusted with Steve.
Yep, I did, but he still managed to land quite a few fish.
Good guy.
Even though you're trying your hardest not to.
I was like, I'll get these Golden State guys to stop bugging me for trips. So you can see how so when we rotate, you can see how these beads sit. So we're actually going to do this little kind of clousery deal, but we'll hide everything in here.
Let's spin like a chicken on a rotisserie.
They do.
What did you use for the abdomen for this guy?
Diamond braid?
Oh, it's diamond braid?
Yeah, just coated with UV resin.
Oh, okay.
I was like, how did I tie that, guys? No, I'm joking.
This
Matt's
is the
cut off
test.
for tonight. No more
This is the
beers
test.
for Matt.
Yeah, I'm cut off. Staying away by. I don't know. I've been busy, Danny. I've been on the road too much at this moment, but that's okay. Must be a color I like. My ice dub pearl. No, I got maybe just enough for a fly.
I think you got that. That's the middle belly. With the pearl.
No, it's this ice dub UV pearl. Standard hue is what I use. So what I do is, this is actually pretty long, so I'll just taper it out.
Back in the pile.
Oh, thanks. I would have missed him. Totally would have been like, where did that one bead go?
No man's land.
And then I'm going to pull the rest back over, and we're just going to add some kind of a little clousery tail scenario in here. And these will get locked in a little better as we progress. Oh, there we go. So I'm just going to kind of bury those in the body there, and then
This isn't pretty enough yet. I'm disapproving of this fly
you're
already.
disapproving of my fly?
Yep.
Alright. Just calm down. You're getting to be as bad as the internet.
Well,
The only difference is I can't ban you. So these are actually they're really basic. It's just predator wrap and ice dub. That's how I do
in
those.
the shop here when I get to sit down and make a hairline order. Actually, maybe next week.
Maybe next week.
Maybe the week after. It'll be in before next June, I can promise that.
Better grab one. Opener.
So I'll end up tapering this out just a hair at the end here.
Thank you.
You guys have these beads in stock though?
Which one?
The Insta-jigs?
Yes.
See? I remembered something.
You used them when you sent out that pack.
I did?
From Hairline sent out the pack.
Oh yeah.
I mucked with them then.
Yeah, they're pretty clever. So the whole theory behind these Insta-jig beads is that if you want your hook point to ride up, instead of doing like a standard mayfly with a round bead, you can hide that in like the thorax, and then your hook will automatically pop up. I did, if any of you guys follow like Hairline on Insta or on Facebook, and there was like the weird tank thing with the flies sitting different directions. I did that video for him because I was like super nerded out over all these new beads.
They come in all sizes.
They come up to like 1/8 is the biggest that I've seen them so far.
But how small?
Really small, smaller than I would tie with.
We got 3 sizes in here. I can't remember which ones exactly I got. It's always in my ad for them.
You have to have a peg for every pack. Same with fly bins. So I just tie that stuff in right over the top. Somewhere there's a giant box with things and eyes and such typically in it.
What kind of material was that again?
Up top, it's predator wrap.
Mm.
So it comes on this big shank like this.
It's a little softer than bucktail.
Way softer. Doesn't hold any water and doesn't smell like the nether region of a deer. So like after you get done tying, you like don't go hug your wife and she doesn't like make you sleep on the couch. What's what?
He's into the smell of the nether region.
Yeah, definitely. The more musky, the better. Taint. Come on.
Dog may like it. Maybe food to your fly bin.
So these are just eyes, whatever flavor you have works. If you're tying bait fish though, a lot of times I like to use red because when bait fish get stressed, they get bloodshot. After the roach clip. I couldn't resist, sorry. I had to bring the roach clip back in. It had been a while. Jason hadn't commented on roach clips in like 30 seconds, so I had to bring it back up.
Is that thick?
This is thick, so I'm going to hit it with the thick first. And then, actually I'll thick the top too. So thick is going to fill your bigger gaps and voids in the world here. And the cool thing is, you can kind of just get all of the dander off of there. And kind of just work it in. So instead of doing like your epoxy heads where if you like blow the whole project, you're like, put it on the spinner and it messes up and you're like, oh, cool. I just thrashed like 60 flies that I did or whatever. At least that's when like the customer complaints come in. I just tied 300 and it messed up on me. 300 are gone. It's always like this extravagantly large number.
300.
Those are the bad ones. Those are the fly fishermen.
We don't trust.
Yeah, we don't trust them. Just kidding. So this is going to be. How do you know? You know, come on. That's what I do with my day.
300 flies.
There's very few people that I tie 300 flies for in the world. So we'll just go ahead and rotate this guy. And so it'll ultimately end up being like a clouser.
Cool. Very cool.
So I'm going to start by just coming in and taper cutting. It's actually a nightmare with short scissors. So that's why we have 5-inch scissors. So you can come back in and just really taper cut in. So you're going to get all of the jig action, and it's going to cast like a rocket. It won't get stuck on the bottom just like a clouser doesn't, you know. But actually I find that if you're fishing like, so say if you're fishing out in like San Diego Bay with all the like the rocks and stuff, how many fish are living on those rocks and that, you know, little like all the spotted bay bass and whatever else. I don't know. Maybe I'm totally crazy, but I've always fished rocks.
That out pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Really good.
But yeah, I mean, I used to fish a lot of jetties when I haven't lived in San Diego since 2000. So I'll blow your mind with my big jetty trick. Here's my secret. So jetties make huge eddies, and they look like rivers. So you throw those on underneath the big ass indicator, and they go through the big fast water, and all those fish sitting on all of the inside edges like trout, eating things, getting pushed out to sea. You just stack them and stack them through the jetty on tidal changes. So you basically indicator fish. You're basically trout indicator fishing with bait fish for sand bass, spots, croakers, yellowfin. Huh?
That's great. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's really just it's just a river. Those estuaries are just making rivers.
And then, probably 6 months ago, we had a wide open indicator bite. Wide open.
Yeah. Well, when you think about it, it's like it's kind of like you're fishing crowley and it's choppy. So your midge is doing this. So it's the same philosophy. It's just a different application in a fishery. That's where that one indicator comes in, the big one.
Yeah. That's the Mako indicator.
Is that a small size?
No.
It's in my truck. I'll show it to you later.
It's about.
It's like one of those kids' play balls. One of those kids' balls that you get. Tim Ray Jeff had a custom bottom made for the airlock. So it's like a giant airlock indicator for as an instructional aid on how to rig it.
Display.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a display rig.
I'm
You
getting
want-
one of those used for Makos.
You're gonna
Using
fish
that as my
Mako?
t-shirt for Makos. I may need multiples because they do have a tendency to chew on things like that.
Yeah, that's true. So
I'm already down 2 buoys this year. A big one came up like a 400 came up and just took the buoy like that, and all of a sudden
you're like, wait a second.
what was that? Oh, something's missing.
Interesting. Oh, here we go. This is an exciting bag. It's super small. Did I put hooks in here? Oh, hey, I'm smart. Yay. Wow.
I'm gonna take off. Thanks for the rod. See you later.
I don't have my phone, Jason. I'm sorry. I cannot currently check my direct messages.
I will definitely take it. I need some model after.
Needs to go back on the table.
No, you can steal whatever you want.
I want to steal this one actually.
First dibs. Alex is talking about
Give me
making
some ideas.
He's about to put up a fly wall over there. The fly
Give a
to
fly, take a fly. Well, unfortunately, I lost the give a fly, take a fly wall, so I have to find some other place to put it.
So my buddy has this cool thing going. He's usually on here heckling me extremely badly, and they have this thing called scavenger fly, where it's there's like little boxes and you can take flies, leave flies if you clean up trash.
Geocaching?
It's like geocaching with fly fishing, and they do it back east, and they get like a ton of dudes like doing exchanges and picking up the rivers, and it's admirable that they started that. Thought it was pretty cool. So this is a little beach pattern that I do. It'll have some flair.
How many pieces?
At least 8. It's gonna be serious. So this is just just a synthetic dubbing with flash. It's really just STS trilobal and ice dub pearl. Body's gonna be some Senyo, and the back's just gonna be this mottled thin skin stuff. I always think of this song because
What are we
of
listening to now?
Jamie Thomas's part in like Zero skateboard movies.
Jamie Thomas. Damn, I would have never thought of that guy ever again. Had you not said that.
When I lived here, I did like I was like an EMT, and like I did like worked at like a home theater car stereo store, and we did one of his cars. He'd always come in with like broken legs and
I'm sure.
just thrashed. Like,
Randomly, I was actually watching.
Skateboarders make a living off of broken bones. That's for sure.
yeah, it was really interesting to look at like the comparisons they're making with the extreme athletes to like the NFL guys now. And that, what's that thing that they keep talking about with the
Brain injuries?
Yeah, the brain injuries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just because they're just
Dave
like,
Mirra thing.
yeah, where like they're just like, they're getting flat backed off of like a 20-foot cliff. That can't be. Good job, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that cannot be healthy in any
Make
way,
sure you
shape, or
invest that
form.
money well.
Like, wait, what was your? Oh, my name's Ragdoll. Gosh, whoa, you know, like, and they just get broken.
No, they do. They make a living off of hurting themselves, for sure.
Yeah. They hit 40 and it's
Yeah.
fun to watch them do a running contest.
Right.
Watching folks put into Rodney Mullen at Del Mar Skate Ranch a while ago. That was pretty interesting.
Oh, when it was where the family putt-putt used to be?
Yep, exactly.
Dude, my dad used to skate there before I was born.
The Bones Brigade just got back together.
They
You
just
see that?
buried it.
I did not.
They got all back together to build the ramp again.
That's
Animal
pretty
chin
cool.
ramp.
But yeah, I think they buried it right after that.
And then, and then I saw a thing with Tony Hawk had, he got all the, like, Steve Caballero and all the dudes back together, and they just did, like, a little Facebook Live thing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're doing hand plants and like
That's pretty funny.
Dude, yeah. Brings back
They're
too many
looking
memories,
kinda old
like
nowadays.
hot pink rails on my Santa Cruz
Yep.
skateboard with my tail pad. Then you were like, no, tail pads are lame. You can't ollie as good.
Tractor trucks,
Yeah.
cokers.
I still have one of my old, was it Vision Gator decks?
Dude, I would kill to have some of my old decks back.
Yeah,
Be
he's
so
still in prison,
stoked.
He's still in prison, yes.
So we're
Killing
gonna
his wife and burying her in the desert.
not good.
Yeah, not good.
Not advisable.
Not a good idea.
Not good for the wife.
So these are so
Yeah, it went out of control.
back to fly tying. So this is Senyo's Shaggy Dub, and it actually comes in a ton of colors, but it's the best nymph leg material ever. It's tiny. If you want little rubber legs and small patterns, this is your jam. We're gonna throw this in there as some flair. Alex is like, dude, I just got rid of like a million things now. This is horrible.
Just
I'm never actually being invited back again.
a few minutes, we're going to start throwing beer bottles.
More flare.
More flair, more flair. Just gets really rowdy.
Be like a little grinder.
More banjo.
More banjo.
I watched a few of your Loon lives. Most of them are not live like this, are they? Or
No. Most of them are just me chilling in like my house,
Yeah.
like with my lab eating like a jungle cock cape, like me beating her off camera. I have a 5-month-old puppy and it just does naughty things at this point.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I missed it. I haven't watched it in a while, in a couple of months, but I wasn't sure if I missed something. But
The white flare is going to be Senyo's laser dub in silver minnow belly, I guess they call it. I think it just looks flashy, like gray. Whoop. Over twisted. That happens. So you can also, if you don't want to do dubbing loops, you can just buy the pre-made like chromatic brush, like in white. It does kind of the same trick here. Oh. Party foul. So all we're gonna do is we're just gonna work. So if you guys see where I'm going with this, if you guys can't figure this out,
You're asking a lot of us trying to figure this out.
do you? Is
4
it?
different dubbings going on at one time.
Yeah. You threw me off with 2 colors.
Oh, wait till
You made
later.
it 2. I only made it 1.
Yeah.
As soon as you had the legs, I was gone.
Yeah.
The legs are just there for special effects. So I'll figure 8. It's actually really easy. Well, I mean, you guys saw what I did. We got to pick it out a bit. We have some work to do. Should have looked where that went.
right
under your chair.
Right under
Yeah.
the chair, yeah.
Beautiful. So now you get some flair.
A little bit.
So that's more cowbell right there.
There we go.
And this is a move I call the cul-de-sac. And we'll just pull this guy kind of up and over. into a nice little top section. GSP, you can just yank materials off if you tie it in tight enough.
Is that a Vivas thread or?
It is, yeah. It's Vivas's 50 denier if you're French, or denier if you're from the Americas. If you're American, you call it denier.
Oh, that sounds a little bit more traditional right there. That sounds a little ingrown right there. Much better.
So I just do a little tapered trimming on it. And I don't get too wild.
Blown up.
Huh? Oh. You're fun.
Yeah.
Nobody calls me, I'm married. I'm boring. Just chill. Yeah, the dog ran away again. Big news. So we're just going to do a top coat like you would, like any epoxy back minnow. And I'll, incorporate the eyes a little bit just to build up this carapace. And then we'll do some Billy Mays, set it and forget it. Isn't that like the
Didn't
thing?
he do coke?
Huh?
Billy Mays?
Yeah.
Like a heart attack?
Yeah, I think he did. So that's my my sand shrimp pattern, or sand crab, different side of this country.
So what was that stuff that you put on the back, that plastic?
Oh, it's just thin skin. You can use they have like a ton of it.
Clear,
This one's clear. I buy a lot of clears, kind of like why I use white thread,
Gotcha.
because I can color them.
Right. I did the
You
same
color
thing at
that one
home.
at all?
Colored it brown, yeah, because it was this. And you could do grays and stuff like that.
And with the epoxy you put on there, it doesn't make the marker run, does it?
No, it's actually pretty cool. You can color. You can do layers.
Yeah.
So you could throw in a brown layer or a light brown layer, and then do another layer of resin, do another layer, and color it at the end,
Right.
and build upon it, and get really weird and
More flash.
more depth. Yeah, yeah, a little bit more depth of field to the pattern and everything like that.
But you dotted it before you put the...
No. It
Pre-dotted.
Where did it's pre-dotted.
yeah, it comes in I mean, you can get this stuff
I
in.
just hummed you. So
No. There's no such thing as never apologize, man. So yeah, you can see it comes with
a bunch of patterns.
bunch of different pattern ways, colors.
We're a little limited right now, but
You don't have to dot it, but
That's
I mean,
cool. If you did that individually, I'd be really impressed.
I'm just really you missed. I mean, you were opening that beer that 1 second, and I just
Right. You already finished the fly by the time you opened the beer.
yeah, it was pretty good.
It's like Sweatshop Live. Just pumping out flies.
Oh, I'm tying slow.
Yeah, you're like 20 minutes of fly.
Yeah, I think I'm. What have I tied? How many flies have I tied? I got 1, 2, 3, 5.
Well, we stole a couple of them.
We're at an hour and a half. I'm not making any money. The guy's over here with the whip at the sweatshop beating me right now.
You're not making your quota today.
No quota. Where'd he go? I was gonna give him some bucktail.
Right.
Ooh, I think you liked it.
Musky. That's nice.
That's foul.
It's like
Sit next to deer butt.
it was like Corbina.
Yeah, Corbina. And that's like what I fish that for is Corbina, croaker, any of those little soup. I've caught halibut, little baby halibut.
Yeah,
Never.
anything on the bottom.
The only rad halibut I've ever got in Southern California, I shot with my Hawaiian sling off Pono. There's that big tube. I don't know if you guys know that, but there's a huge tube that runs straight in between the jetties out.
Really?
I don't know what they do with it. So my buddy and I are you know, it's like this awesome scenario where it's like packed beach day, like soccer moms everywhere, sporting their X5s, looking
Right.
fancy. My buddy and I roll out there, like, we zap this like 48-inch Pacific halibut with a 6-foot pole spear. My buddy's standing on it. We like my knife. I'm like, oh, forgot the knife. Figure it was me. I forgot something. Yeah, it was my. Well, she wasn't around at the time. Can't blame her. And so I'm down there with like my snorkel, like beating it, and I ended up reaching. I still have scars all over my hand from reaching into its gill raker and yarding its gills out. But we yarded this thing up, you know, 4-foot long Pacific halibut, like onto the beach, and like moms and kids
Right.
are like running, and we're like triumphant with this like giant thing. Literally, when we filleted it, the fillets came off of it like yay long, that thick, and like that wide. It was just a beast. Belly fillets were a little bit less, and like
How
Do you-
deep, how deep the water?
6 feet.
Yeah.
6 feet of water. Like my buddy was sitting on the pole spear breathing.
Right.
Well, he was like, "Go down there and get it. You go get it." Snorkel stabbing it in the
In the
eyes.
back of the caddy.
Yep.
Yeah, I
That's why
wish.
he's got a big trunk. Dead bodies and big halibuts, right?
Yep.
So this, what did you use in this one again? 'Cause this thing's sweet. I gotta try this out.
So I used Senyo's laser dub,
Uh-huh.
and then just like any orange, like ice dub works
Okay.
really well. And then I use those shaggy dub legs. You can admit that. I mean, you don't have to put it in there.
Okay.
I mean, and if you wanted to cheat, cheating is accepted. You guys have some brushes over there, right? Like any of the brushes, you can actually get that same effect
Okay.
by just using a brush. I'd recommend the 1 some of the shorter ones. They'll be a little bit more spiky. The 3-inch ones get a little long, and you gotta trim them out just a hair. Need a big hook. Have them in here somewhere. I made a thorough mess of my bag over here. Oh yeah, this will have some big hooks.
Yeah.
Not big, not big. That's big.
Yeah.
And sharp. Little guy.
It's not a hook, it's a gap.
It's only a 2-aught.
Yeah.
That's what most of my flies are. At least 1-aught.
It's just a baby.
Here's the 12, yeah. No, I think that one's only 10 up there.
What's that?
I think that Mako fly's only 10 on.
Right. I have some 11-aught offset worm hooks that I tie big clousers on for stripers, so because they short bite you. So I tie these like huge, crazy, wedgy, big striper flies
You
on.
tried using the sled head hooks.
I don't get out very much. I just kind of live in
the
like a
hook
little
actually
cave.
ends up looking, takes a dive,
Right.
flies up here, takes a dive, has a straight, and then comes up and under, kind of like a worm style.
Okay.
But it's got a place to put the weight. You just burn all that off.
Huh.
I don't think I have any of those hooks on me. It's easier to draw it than explain it. But they'll make them all the way up to 10 ounce. And you tie like
I like 10
10,
aught.
12-inch flies on them.
So do you tie like electrical cord on it, or what? Like silly legs?
Just about.
There we go. Oh, there it is. Awesome. That's what I was looking for. It's hiding in the back there.
But generally, this is kind of what the hook looks like right here.
Oh, okay. That's really cool. Who makes that?
A couple companies do, but it's actually a worm hook. You
Okay.
have to melt off the lead and some other stuff.
Oh, I know the hook that you're talking. It's a swim bait hook.
Yeah, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the calico guys use it like that, so we take it and one of my friends, Vaughn Podmore, is the first one I've ever seen use that hook.
Vaughn's a pretty sharp dude.
So we've gone from that to tying triple articulated to using the bend of the hook as my articulation point.
Okay.
So you
Yeah,
put
yeah.
that back there, and then you just put a plastic piece over it. So now you get somewhat of a weed
Right.
guard on it, and you can rip it through some pretty nasty stuff. And
Especially in the kelp.
yes,
Because kelp is not fun.
no. Anybody who complains about weeds hasn't fished in kelp before.
Yeah, right.
So I'm just doing 3 flavors. I think it's herringback, minnowback, and this is the herringback ones. Yeah, no, I've had some pretty, like as a kid, we used to lobster dive, and then we decided that it was like this killer idea to go spearfishing in the kelp at night.
God, that isn't creepy.
Yeah, right. Kelp during the day is creepy enough. Diving.
Yeah.
So we used to just
Seriously.
I used to do like solo lobster missions all the time, like, because I mean by the time and I used to my parents would get freaked out and they'd be like, dude, how do you why are you going out there? Like, what are you thinking? You're crazy. And I was like, well, no, because I mean if I go with my buddy, he takes off and heads over on this down this reef flute and he's not near me anyways.
Oh, that's funny. I used to do that at Swami's just in the daytime, and I'm going, why the hell did I do that?
I've done it once tonight, and I won't do it ever again. I was
What's-
sitting there, and I was looking down at the reef. All of a sudden, a seal comes up and pops its head right in between my
Oh,
legs.
jeez.
I might as well have been running across the water when that happened.
Yeah, we're gonna do. Yeah, Mark, we're gonna do same thread for all my flies. Yeah, 50 denier, Denner, Vivus,
There we go.
some Denner. So with your salt flies, when you have all this stuff trailing out, the first thing that typically happens is that when you cast. So what I do is I put this twist in it. I'll take the UV and I just thoroughly saturate it, because a lot of guys will, run these cool loops and fancy extra steps and such. But once you do that with the UV, it'll you got to hit the bottom of it too. You try not to stare into the
Yeah,
light. It's like the
right.
sun. It's not good for you. I'm pretty sure.
Why do my
I'm not a doctor, but I'll take a look, kind of a thing. It's not wise.
Unless you're looking for a tan.
So yeah, so now our flash, because this is gonna be all of our body of our pattern here, and so all of our flash has now been stabilized back out. And we can taper that out just a bit to make it look kind of fun and cool. I'll just throw a little supportive deer butt in there. Put that in the Loon box,
You smell it one more time before you put it away?
just so I remember not to touch it again.
Starting to wonder about you.
If you're normal.
I'm surprised I'm surprised you've waited this long to wonder about me, Steve.
You're normal, apparently.
Yeah. No guys do that. I think who is it? Jeff Fox, or it was you smell something bad, and you're like, oh god, that smells awful. Hey buddy, dude, you have to smell this. And you watch the whole thing go down, you still smell it.
You're so
Yeah, it gets pretty rough. Yeah, we did a pike muskie fly, and they all use that deer hair pushed over everything, and went in my office afterwards, and I'm just like, it's like you guys do this to yourself every day, on purpose. You guys are crazy. They're really cool looking flies. Have you seen that new Blaine Chocolate's new super cool bungee wrap material? It's makes these crazy heads. Guys have been kind of getting stoked out on it, I think, for calico flies and such.
You probably could have.
It's pretty cool looking stuff. So this is just like a palmer chenille that I use just to create a little bulk without, it's kind of like a collar on an intruder. Just going to create a little flash in there without you know, you're not adding a ton of natural materials to like add weight, because natural materials kind of just add weight, in my opinion. A lot of times. So I like synthetics, and plus there's more cool synthetics on the market. I haven't seen any new animals get invented lately, so
Give it a little while.
once cloning happens, we're like,
Yeah.
cool, we have an alligator, shark, bear. There's my daughter calls them crocodigators. Dad, the crocodigator. Is there a crocodigator in this river? No, honey, there's not a crocodigator. There's no
The keyword
actual...
is not yet.
Not yet. There could be. So that's going to be just our belly profile. Now we're just going to wing over the top using some Farrar blend. And we'll do some layers of colors here. Some little minnow back. The station's like, I need more music during Loon Live. Kind of digging this. Kaz will be asking questions. Can't hear you.
Well, you'll
That's how
turn
you
into-
ignore everybody on the online.
I try not to. Sometimes you get so busy, like that, it's tough to keep up. And then I need like a moderator. That would be kind of cool.
Pretty good at it, though, I gotta admit. We'll be tying and reading and talking. You haven't tied your finger to a hook yet.
Yeah, right.
The one time, were you there? Did you watch the episode where I destroyed my whole finger and I had to zap and get myself back together?
No.
Yeah, I was using. So I have this cool tool. It's like this, but it's huge and it's for blending dubbing. The
Oh, I
hairline.
know that tool.
Yeah,
It's
the
like a
blend
big
your own.
cat.
And like I hit it and I like went all like I messed and like my whole finger was bleeding. I'm like blood's coming off and like one guy caught it and he was like, "Oh my gosh, your finger." And I looked down and I'm like, I just put a thing on it and then I just grabbed Zap Gel and I just zapped my whole thumb back together. And then he's like, "Did you just glue your hand back together?" I was like, "Yeah, it was good."
Well, isn't that where super glue was invented?
Absolutely was. World War II. It was invented for trauma.
Yeah, on battle.
So
People always look at me weird whenever I have super glue on me on the boat. I'm like, why do you have that? Because I'm going to eventually cut myself.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of if, it's when.
When.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just waiting for the day where Mako grabs a hold of me.
You don't want to think about that.
Yeah,
day.
why are you?
It's kind of
Just in
morbid.
case. Because I know I make mistakes.
So this is going to get trimmed up too at the end. And then we'll put it in a roach clip.
Maybe you can double up on the roach clip.
I guess we could leave it like that. See what this looks like. Tops of those things are... I dig that though. And this is a Icewing fiber. It's kind of cool. It's a material. They sell it for fly time.
What animal does that call?
The Icewing bird.
Ah, yes.
The flash bird.
The infamous.
The infamous flash bird.
See, that's just the butt material. If you get the wings, that's the good flash of it.
Yeah, it's really expensive though. It's hard to find.
What does it smell like?
So that's going to have just a ton of cool profile behind it. Then we can go back in. Yeah, it is Farrar blend. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked and my ADD is not helping me tonight.
Drunk hecklers aren't helping you.
It's a peanut gallery.
Could you guys just go? Just kidding.
You know it's bad when they come up and they have you behind chicken wire. Everything's downhill from there.
So I used to work on an ambulance in South Central LA. Like no joke. Like my hood that I ran in was Inglewood, Watts, Hawthorne, Compton, stuff like that. And when you went to like a store there, it was absolutely nutty because I don't make giant eyes. That's lame. Oh well, we'll put some smaller eyes on it.
Bigger ones?
Yeah, I have like some 8 mils, but I wanted like some clown size versions. But yeah, like it's like all plexi that's like this, like 2-inch thick, and like you gotta like reach in and like give the money over here and
To buy groceries?
to buy anything. Ooh, look at these. These are clear cure goose eyes. That ought to go over really great with the loons, right?
Why not? If you're gonna piss off one tonight, just piss them all off.
I'm just making
Using
everybody
the wrong
angry.
Vice, using the wrong products. It's like, why not just drink a Coke when you're sponsored by Pepsi?
You got some over here. Huh?
No, it's all right. I don't drink soda. I drink coffee
Yes.
in spades.
Coffee is excellent.
Like my road trip is like, okay, I got 2 thermoses. Check.
That's it?
Rice? Oh, no.
No, I have the Vice. The Vice is in San Diego. It's just in Oceanside. It's at the condo. So
It was in the plans.
it was totally in the plans. It was like actually I'm like, which one of my like 3 Regals do I bring? I'm like, oh, I like this one this week. I have quite a stake in. I have a couple $1,000s in Regal Vices at this point. You gotta,
Gotta branch out.
I'll get home, my daughter will be like, you tied on the wrong vice. Thanks, honey.
You did to me.
Buying a Vice is the best birthday present I ever gave to myself.
So I'm just gonna use thick for everything here, and not really. No, that is a good birthday present to yourself. I buy myself all sorts of nice birthday presents.
The only nice birthday present.
I just bought myself a Christmas present. My wife's not gonna be happy when she sees the. Honey, this just showed up on your work card. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I got a Big Sky rod box.
Oh, nice.
Have you seen those? They're like the full sheet. I got on the wait list. It's
Yeah, last time I looked at those, they were definitely out. Yeah.
they're like $600. I got the
Yeah.
6-pack, but it holds 6 fully rigged rods on top of the Tundra.
Pretty cool.
No more sticking them through the hole in the.
Back
Well,
window.
now they'll still be stuck. I have like 20 rods lined at a time sometimes. So I'm a rep. I mean, I have to.
Not the one I broke.
Did you broke a rod?
I sat on it, remember?
Didn't we break 2 that day?
No, just one.
Oh, okay. I don't even remember. You were worried. I remember that. I remember
I was
breaking.
ready to get out my wallet and buy you a new one.
There's no buying me new rods.
He said, I just go over to the fly shop, they give me a new one. You did make me feel better, but I still felt stupid.
Yeah. No, I don't even remember. I wouldn't even remember that you broke a rod on my boat. Okay. So you can see that fluorescing start to pop on there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do the best head on this one. I let you guys down. I'm really sorry.
What rod line do you represent?
Echo.
Oh, cool.
It's a nice light castable fly.
So that's like, not top water, but like mid water because it doesn't have a lot of weight to it, right?
Yeah. So a lot of times, like if you watch I'd throw something like that size for like tuna and stuff out there. Like, obviously you can change the colors to match, your anchovy, sardines and stuff like that. But if you watch tuna, like, okay, so we'll be really honest, is you're bait and switching them. A lot of the times, you're not getting the tuna to blow up on a bunch of flies stripped over a kelp patty. Sometimes they will.
Right.
Yellowfin, yellowtail, whatever. So you're bait and switch. What that fish is starting to hear is,
Smack, yeah.
and they're if you ever watch a school feed, they're like,
Right, popping up, yeah.
so like the second your fly hits, they see it, the next guy goes up, my turn, John, and you've got him. So when that bait hits, it's not going down.
Right.
So you want it to kind of sit, and that first few, that is when I've noticed, like, in my limited fly fishing for tuna, you've probably done more, but, I've just noticed it's like, sometimes it's right on the top. But yeah, that was like, we just chummed them up. We got them crazy.
Oh, when you get them at that point.
Yeah, it was just like slap, bite, gone, cool.
Hold on.
So.
We're sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you're angry, and then you're just like the
Why did I
rod's
hook 'em on this rod?
the rod's going down there most of the time for like
Right.
an hour, and you're like, why did I do this to myself? Stupid tuna.
And then you land one and have sushi that night, and you're like, oh,
That's why. Yeah, right.
Oh, tasty tuna. I like you.
Yeah, right.
The worst that gets me is not the fight. Is if I got somebody else on my boat that gaff besides me, they gaff and dump the fish on the boat. I shoot people that want to do that. That's instant asking to be thrown off the boat. I've
Just-
only done that once where I've gaffed them and not put them in the ice chest.
Yeah.
And that was because my boss fell asleep on the front of the boat, and I hooked the tuna. So I gaffed them and undid them.
Thank you,
midair,
Brent.
landed right on.
Yeah, we're here all night. The guys have sleeping bags out here, Jason. They're set up. We're actually having a Loon giveaway in the morning. They're just holding their space.
It's like Black Friday for fun.
We didn't tell them we're only giving away a half-ounce bottle of thin, though.
We got another bottle coming, so things are looking up.
It's a solid 2 bottles.
Maybe cuddling later on, so we're all good.
It's cold out in Southern California.
It gets very cold out, especially if you're from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thin
As soon
skin.
as it starts getting, as soon as it starts getting below 60, jackets and downs come out real quickly.
I've never seen more Patagonia puffs in like my life than I do in Southern California. It's like, you know, and it's weird too. Like, so like in Redding, it's dry. Like this is like, I feel like I'm in the South right now with the humidity. And like, so, you know, it'll be like 35 degrees. I'm in flip-flops still, in shorts. And it's the same thing during summer. It'll be like 110. I'm in the same outfit, but it's this dry heat. You add cold, moisture, game over. It's a whole different scenario in the world. So, this guy's going to be a little wild. This has a lot of flair. I'm going to shrink the hook, though. This is going to be a sculpin pattern. And afterwards, we'll do some beard trimming.
Alright, go for it.
I'm going to put some mean lightning bolts in there.
You Charger fan
No.
still, really?
Yeah, can you use that
Huh?
for dubbing?
Charger fan still, really?
I don't watch any. I'm like the worst sporting guy there's ever been created. I've like never even watched a Super Bowl. I'm like, hey, everybody's watching a Super Bowl. I bet all the fishing spots are open. I'm going fishing. The cops probably aren't.
Surfing, fishing.
Yeah.
Very true.
It's like skiing. The day
Anytime.
to go skiing is New Year's Day and Super Bowl Sunday.
Yep.
Don't know, don't know.
Well, when we were kids, we used to fish all the golf courses. So I have like this hollow-bodied frog called a fairway frog, and I fish it on golf courses. But like we'd be like, okay, we're going to Rancho Santa Fe Reservoir, Super Bowl Sunday, but like nobody's gonna. We'd always try to sneak in to all those places.
One random dude.
Yep.
No, the marshals are always out there. They don't care.
Because golfers are just like fly fishermen. They're like, hey, football's on.
It's
I'm
very
going.
true.
I'm going golfing.
Go out to Torrey Pines anytime there's a football game on. Great.
This actually is one of the best songs possibly ever. This riff is just amazing.
We had one, what was on? Bohemian Rhapsody was on. While you're going on, so I was like kind of zoning in and out between you talking.
Right, it's like 7 minutes
Yeah.
long. You're like, I'll come back to it.
I'll come back eventually. Maybe 20 minutes. I'll be there for 13.
I'll take
of
out
it.
the trash and come back. It's still on.
So I'm just going to put a little bit of the flow. This is one of those, they call them rib tungsten shrimp bodies, but they are the worst scud body. The best keel, one of the best keels ever for hiding inside of things. Because scuds don't go like this and swim.
That's when they come up over the top like that.
Yeah, not like that.
Not like this swing.
Good old, I miss Kerman. I love that place. Have you guys fished Kerman Lake?
I have.
The fish die in like an average of 5 years because
Yeah.
they die of heart attacks.
They're huge.
What?
They just live on scuds and they get giant freaking brook trout.
Yeah, there's like big brookies and
Cuddies.
cutties and, but like, they die. They like actually ask you to keep them.
Yeah, I had one actually have a heart attack on me.
So,
Only fish I've actually had a heart attack. They came over there and we hooked a probably 23-inch brook trout, probably 8-pound
They're
fish,
fat, man.
and started pulling. About 2 minutes later, all of a sudden
Just limp.
comes up right on that. I'm like, what the heck? Sitting over there, CPR on the fish.
Live, no.
Clear.
Great place. This is up on like what pass is that?
That is up over
Sonora.
Sonora Pass. That's right.
So quick trick, if you're cutting tails for things and you want it to be nice, just pull it tight. And if you just cut it, by the time if your scissors are sharp, you'll notice that it wedges both sides at once, and it's just done. You don't have to worry about too much. And let me cut that off there. We'll use some other flair. Naughty,
Major party foul.
naughty fly tire. But see, my wraps are tight enough that they don't even come undone.
Someone's getting fired.
I am. I'm being replaced.
Yeah, I got a jackrabbit
I was
last,
actually playing good
last
today.
season, and I
Sometimes it can be a little iffy.
didn't know how to salt the
Right,
hide.
it's on point.
Okay.
I was like, oh man.
Borax.
Yeah, well, that was before I started fly fishing, so I was like, I'll just take the meat. This season, I'm getting jackrabbit.
So I fought fire. Well, we didn't fight much fire. We actually didn't do much of anything. So I was like a firefighter and paramedic, quote unquote, for Mono County Fire Rescue. Like we ran 10 calls like in 10 months, kind of a gig. So I tolerated a lot of flies.
He's usually picking up a kid that has a broken arm at the mouth.
No, I was in Walker.
Oh,
So we picked up all the guys from MWTC, and it was you always
That's the only structure in Walker is the fire housing, by the way.
yeah.
That's it.
That's like the military house, and that's like it. Dude, we went on calls. Like the people that actually live there are pretty amazing.
they're awesome. He's some of the best human beings on the planet.
Dude, we had a guy get bit up by a pit bull, and his like hand was shredded. And we're like, all right, we're taking you to the hospital. He's like, I got this. This isn't even that big of a deal.
I got duct tape and I got Jim Beam.
Super glue,
We're all
right?
good.
Yeah.
Super glue.
So what I did here is, it's just 2 colors of puller chenille, and I'm just spinning them. So you get like a 3-color puller chenille. 2 turns into 3. It's really good math. What it was new math.
You definitely sold me on that tool, though.
It's his job.
Yeah, doing a good job.
So I'm just gonna put a little flash in here.
What's the description they have in the hairline catalog for that?
For the tool,
Yeah.
Roach clip spinner.
I don't know. The bobbin, our new bobbin, it says Space Age Khalees design. I don't know what they did for this one. It's like multi-grippy, spinnery magic or
Some
something.
of them, it's very entertaining actually reading that catalog. You actually look at it and be like, well, that guy was sober. That guy was not sober when he wrote that one.
How do you describe it? I don't know. It's spinner thing.
Magic whiz bang spinnerish
Right.
type chingaderas.
I like the chain there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Unfortunately, it explains everything you're doing.
So this is a little guinea. Hi, Anthony. You like your wiener, it looks like, a lot. This guy has like 4 comments about his wiener. I'm not sure where he's going with this.
You sure you're not on Periscope right now?
Could be. Could be. Periscope. What an interesting concept that little thing is.
Oh, somebody told me to start doing that. One of the other shops, regular shops, said do it, so I did like a tying night on that. I'm not doing one ever again.
Because there's random people hopping in and
Oh god. Some of the stuff I heard about that, we had people from Democrats hating on fly fishing or destroying fish to people asking if I wanted to see their
right.
Man.
and everything in between. You would do private shows.
Yeah.
Yes, lots of money. Our bank account number is this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a Nigerian prince.
Oh, I like that. So this is a
Barb Marabou.
barred marabou. this micro barred marabou. It's pretty
I'm not saying barb. It's
barred.
barred. Not like Barb from like Stranger Things, right?
No. Whoop! What did I do there? Where did my thread go?
Ever seen that show?
The only downfall to this thing
Barb,
is
the red-haired chick that died, like the friend, Barb.
I'm not putting that together.
Yeah, in the swimming pool. Yeah.
For the alternate realities.
Yeah.
I was gonna make it on redheads. Jeez almighty.
Gingers.
no souls.
Yeah. My sister red.
I had
was a redhead.
a partner that was ginger, and he was hilarious. He just like every day it would just be like ghost costumes in his locker at work, and like we ran on the ambulance together. It's just heckling. Now he's a cop, CHP, so I got in
I
California.
can't heckle as much.
I don't know where he works, so I have to keep I-5. I'm just really, really nice.
You get the sticker though? Oh, so neat. The sticker.
Fireman sticker?
No, it doesn't help.
CHP sticker.
It doesn't help at all.
No.
I got yelled at because I was borrowing my dad's car one day. I got pulled over. The guy looked at me. He's like, "Oh, you fireman?" I'm like, "No, my dad is." "Oh,
Here's your ticket.
you have to remove this sticker immediately." "Excuse me? This is my dad's car. I'm just borrowing it so I could take it over and take stuff to the junkyard." "No, you need to remove the sticker." He actually physically watched me and made me take off the sticker.
You're like, I don't have a razor blade right now.
Actually, I did.
You did. Lucky. Because you know, some of the stickers like shred, like you're there for like an hour pulling on it.
Thankfully, this one turned out pretty good. Thankfully, I had the one on my driver's side because my dad had one on the driver's side and one in back. I had the window low enough you couldn't see that one, so I only had to undo a brand new one. The other one was an old one that had like streaks in it. That thing would have been a 2-hour process to get that thing off.
Yeah. I had to sell a car with a military sticker on it, and that was a pain in the ass. I scraped it and took me like 2 hours.
Every once in a while.
So this is just a brown flash, but they don't have colors on there. It's just brown, but it's $69.87.
That package?
Yeah, they don't have colors. They just have color codes.
Yeah.
Hedron doesn't do anything with like.
Yeah. So you'll need them all will be numbered up there.
Like, I'm not getting into this.
You gotta get into this.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to
I thought it was the cost.
I thought
Like, what the heck?
$69.87 was the price. I'm like, I don't know.
No. That's the color code, not how much
No,
it
you just-
costs.
Oh, we got it for sale for $69.
Yeah, you just draw the decimal point.
50.
You're asking a little much. I'll give it 60.
So we'll bro you down a bit here. Give you the good guy, new guy discount.
Yeah, right.
So this is just India hen, and we're gonna do some tricky stuff with it. You guys on TV won't see any of this. This is can't let it out on the internet. You have to pay to see this kind of work. Thought I didn't throw both of them away. Maybe I did. So those other guys, they had like you had to buy a brushable version. Newsflash, they're all brushable. So we just included a brush with ours. So every fly tying company, especially Hairline, gives you these cool bags that are clear, and they don't inhibit UV resin or UV light. So when you put your India hen saddle down here, you can brush the UV resin in, and take a second to do what you want with it. So you can see all I did is set the hen feathers down there, and I brushed it with the resin.
Oh, did you brush the whole feather?
The whole feather. Then you do this, and you go, whoa. And you go underneath, because remember, these great bags that they give you for free. I wanted to try to figure out how to sell people like this. I was like, I got to be like way cooler than that. So when you take it off, you get these nice firm. Oh, oops! Don't do it over the portion with the writing. Never done it on that bag before. So
What do you say? Fish don't care, right? They can't read.
hey, they'll probably like it even more.
So is that technically now a plastic lure?
It's technically now a rubberized feather. But what's cool is as they push back, and you can see they
that's
stop.
cool.
So when you stop the sculpin,
Yeah.
its fins flare.
Interesting.
And
Very cool.
it's probably one step ahead, but do you cure it?
Cure the resin?
Oh yeah, I saw it. You just
No, I did cure it.
Yeah.
So now we have these cool sculpiny helmet
Make sure you
feathers.
dip on one side of the feather and walk on the other.
Right.
Then
Yeah.
make sure the picky fish that actually read
Right.
will eat it.
You can't have the generic version.
brands.
No,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's
They're not into that.
No.
Let's see. Oh, it's not letting me do that. Whatever. I'm over it. So these are like those, like when I was talking about those brushes.
Minnow head brush.
Yeah, so this is like a minnow head. They have a chromatic version. They have tons.
Is that just the color? Because it looks like just a Palmer chenille.
This?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like a chenille, but check it out. It's actually, that one's Arctic Fox, and this one's,
It's a little stiffer.
yeah,
It's a wire.
it's a wire cord brush.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So, I'm going to take 2 of them. Whoop, don't catch that guy. So this is how you kill your scissors in a day? Remember we had that conversation?
Just send it back.
Yeah. Guess who gets to sharpen them?
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
You're like, wait. I know this guy.
Jerk! I watched him do these.
Yeah.
I've watched him destroy these personally.
It looks like a good idea.
Yeah, because using them as a hammer. I like craftsman.
So you can see I just took that orange and brown, or orange and green, I mean, or brown and green. I'll talk one of these days. And I haven't even had a beer.
That's probably the problem.
Yeah, probably.
I don't drink, so it would be a lot worse. I'd be like trying to find an Uber to drive my car home.
Really? Can you drive my car here? What about you? I'm gonna sleep here.
No, you just take me home. You're driving my car. I don't care what happens to you after the fact. I don't think they play it like that.
They have actually in the UK. They have the guys that go around in these tiny fold-up travel motorcycles.
No way.
And they go over
Brilliant.
and pick you up and fold it up, put it in there, drive your car over there, your place, take the motorcycle, back off to the next
That's
thing.
pretty cool.
But they're only going,
Yeah.
5-6 miles at most.
Right.
Okay. So we just did a little dubbing brush action.
So can you mix colors with shorter strands of like Palmer chenille or?
Yeah. Oh, with that tool?
Or yeah, like so I have shorter fibered stuff. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
a fraction of that.
You can mix anything. Honestly. So if you remember, we did that keel weight on the base. And so you want to talk about being able to cut stuff?
That's actually a good idea. I got one of those that I never used.
Right.
I don't think near as much as you get used to. For another day or two.
So then you get just a little
Halloween
sculpin. How do I do that? Let's see. Take a second.
I'm a little disappointed. There's no eyes.
I could glue some eyes on there.
It's not a fish without eyes.
That looks sick. Use that keel weight and then throw on some lead eyes and turn that thing orange and it's a calico pattern.
Yeah, you could just, I mean, it would play over super well. should have paid attention to what this guy was doing. He got rather, like you were talking about,
Yeah. They got rather vulgar.
got a little wild. We just had to ban him. He's gone.
Wiener guy?
Huh?
Wiener guy?
Oh, he got worse. I wasn't like paying attention because I just kept seeing his name and it was like obnoxious, and I'm like, oh god. Somebody else is like, what the hell, dude? It's like, okay, you get banned. You can email me to come back later. Apologize for misbehaving. Only 2 hours and 10 minutes. It's kind of scary.
Is that 5 or 6?
Flies?
Flies, yeah.
7, I think, right now.
Really?
The complex twist already disappeared.
Did it? Oh, that gentleman borrowed it? Took
How
it
long have
away?
they been doing that complex twist for?
The Cheech guy?
Yeah.
Cheech and, I don't know. Like, I've seen, so Senyo does a variation on it, which I think maybe he did it longer. No problem, Brent. Let's see, we're taking a poll. Weed or too many cocktails? I don't know. Probably a combination of two and being like 8 years old. First time on a computer in a public forum, possibly. Just discovered the internet? Yeah, that's a possibility.
And kids, that's why you don't do crack.
Drugs is bad because
Alright,
It
so
is
we're...
different than you're doing it live. I mean, you always do it live, but it's different than you're doing it with the audience.
People around, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
At home, I'm not wearing any pants.
I never do. Just kidding. Wait, I forgot this material. It's horrible.
Get up and it's just...
Not only is you have a bad shirt on, but you're not wearing pants either.
Yep.
He doesn't watch ESPN, but have you guys seen the one ESPN one? Who's the baseball commentator? It's always really good. He's always... I can't remember his name, but he's always very professional, everything like that.
Yeah.
Rosenthal? With the
No,
bow
it's an
tie or
older
what?
guy that had the acne scars and everything.
Oh, you like Paul,
Yeah.
Costas or something?
I can't. No, it wasn't Costas, but for ESPN he does all
Oh,
the
just for-
reporting
just for
for him
baseball?
for baseball. But they have him sitting there, and he's always very professional. He looks like a guy that should be,
Should be there?
He should be there, but he's always wearing suits. He's always very nicely dressed. So I had one. He gets done with the interview. But it shows him getting up. He gets up and he's in like short cut off things. He rips off a connected piece thing.
Yeah.
And it says Slayer across it, and he goes down. He's like, Mom, I'm done the segment now.
And that's the guy that's the
It's
NFL.
NFL.
He does the NFL.
What's his
He has a
name?
long ponytail.
Yeah, he has a long ponytail and everything. It's great.
Thanks, Jason.
He's
That was
funny.
a hilarious commercial where he gets
Yeah.
done and he just gets done.
I don't think it should have been pretty rare. But it's
NFL.
so sports on us.
It's NFL though. It's
It's not
Yeah, it's the NFL guy. I don't know.
he's got glasses on all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
got the
he's
Ben
such a-
Franklin
Yeah.
glasses.
I gotta watch TV apparently.
No, the name.
There's like magical things out there.
ESPN does some of the best commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the name.
You don't need to watch TV, just YouTube it.
Yeah.
Just
Or the one with the New Jersey
I can
Devils
handle that.
mascot. Where they have the guy sitting by the elevator and the elevator opens up, New Jersey Devils mascot. And he's like, and the other guy goes, going up, and New Jersey guy's like, no. And he like takes like one step, and the other guy's like, nope, not going in there. And he walks out. They're on a roll, actually. I think they probably do the best overall commercials.
Yeah.
Really?
Good ones over the years.
I probably wouldn't understand like what's the Devils?
New
Well, it's a-
Jersey hockey team.
Hockey team, but it's a devil, and he goes,
Baseball bat?
yeah. So he's like, yes, the New Jersey Devils mascot going, oh, are you going up? And he's like, no, I'm going down. And the guy just goes, like, takes one step towards and goes, nope, and like backs away.
All right.
Good name.
I can't either. It's breaking.
So is the are the Golden State guys still pretty hip on check nymphing? You guys still doing that? A lot?
I don't.
No?
No, I don't know. Some of them are really drinking the Kool-Aid. I'll tell you.
The Kool-Aiders?
The Kool-Aiders, man.
The Dave Smith Kool-Aid.
The Dave Smith Kool-Aid. Jesus Christ. Don't get me started, please. I'll say things I regret.
It's getting all worked up over here.
Well, Dave's probably watching, so don't worry. We can talk trash on him because he won't hear it till later.
These are all ambiguous out there. Me, I have the shirt though. I'm ruined. Everybody knows me. No, I do a lot of urine emptying when I'm needing to.
Yeah,
It's got a time and place, just like everything else.
all of it does. Every,
But I'm also like one of the first dudes that'll tell you that I'll go swing flies for like 3 weeks without ever touching a coastal steelhead and still go back like the next 20 times going, it's gonna happen this time.
Yeah.
Wait,
It's
no.
funny when you explain
Then you don't need to
steelheading
watch
to people on an actual steelhead river, not talking like the Trinity or something like that, but an actual coastal steelhead river. You'd be like, yeah, I didn't touch a fish this weekend. And they're like, why do you fish? I'm like, because just the one fish.
I like it when you tell people you catch and release.
Yeah.
Their eyes get about this big, like, what is wrong?
What is it?
Or you just tell people you fly
Hank
fishing.
Patterson one?
No, what?
Yeah.
That one is great. So you put the fish and you put it back in back in the water. Oh, back in the cooler. No.
Back in the cooler.
So he makes more fish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're fattening him up? No. Now you're just cruel, man.
Yeah. You just want to torture them.
Give a good punch, you know. Toughen him up.
This is actually cool. This Cocktail Leon.
It's all sticky
Oh,
over
that's
there.
got to be a nice bendy piece right there.
Yeah.
I think it's
Those long fibers.
So it's interesting. A lot of guys.
That's cocktail, you know?
Yeah, it's a full cape of Cocktail Leon. But so the cool thing is a lot of these fibers you can actually use them like half the end ones and give them all the different colors. So you can use them as like a spay hackle, and they don't have any stem to them, so you can palmer through like super huge long flies, and it's pretty awesome. It is cool.
Where'd you pick this up at?
I don't know.
Well, that's a lot of help.
I don't remember where. If you saw my tying layer, you would probably be like, "Oh, I understand why you don't know where you get anything." Does it have a name on it? Nope, I can't tell you. Sorry. Like,
Wow, that sounds like
My wife's
going
like-
into Sprouts. Where'd you get this from? Don't know.
It's been here
Where'd
for
you get it?
45
When
years.
did you get it? Don't know.
1982.
Oh, if you're lucky, that's the new stuff.
No, my wife. I get home from trips, and my wife's like, "How was your trip?" She's like, "What did you get?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, look at the skin of this thing." And she's like, "How much was that?" And I said, "Well, I've never seen another one yet, so I had to buy it." And I just tell her the time to buy something is when you see it. And she's like, "Would you shut up with that?" It's not very happy
And then
sometimes.
she goes back with, okay, those shoes.
Yeah, no, I have a good wife. Like, she's not into all that jazz. She keeps me very well grounded and maintained, which is good.
Honestly, I always say if they can put up with us fishing, you've won.
Yeah, she sends me fishing. She says, "Go away."
Yeah. Sounds familiar.
You fish. So I'm gonna take what is it? It's a medium brown and a black.
I go actually, like, when I come back and she can tell when I haven't fished, she'll come over and be like, you haven't fished in a while, have you? I'm like, no. And she's like,
Go
Yeah.
fishing.
go
Yeah.
fishing, please. Get away from me.
Yeah.
Go away.
Good
It's my
one.
fishing period. Leave me alone.
So this is like the easiest fly to tie.
Doesn't smell like a bucktail.
Does not.
So
And smell like deer fart.
Really, why does not smell? Is it
yeah, it's pretty.
synthetically glued onto a bucktail, or was it?
Why?
It
Is
looks
it
like it should be a bucktail.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's synthetically glued
That's the
onto
new
a-
thing right there. There we go for hairline.
Just new.
Caves glued to bucktails. So you get that smell.
I typically call them butt tails.
Bucktails, yeah.
They're just-
Swamp crotch. Yeah, this is really nice.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, so apparently that's for like dry flies, but I just use it on nymphs.
See, I really like that for doing some of the hassle stuff and some of the saltwater stuff.
Yeah,
Because
I could see that being a really cool, light, airy feather for that.
I've been doing something similar like that for about 8-9 years now, doing the complex twist. using, well, before that was available, you used the Palmer chenille
Right.
and doing twists with schlappen, a saltwater, and chenille like that.
If you can find saltwater anymore, well, maybe it was just me that sold mine all to the hair girls.
You're not the only one.
No, I didn't think so. Yeah, we'll go brown.
The problem is when you're dating a girl that's in the hairdressing salon, you come back and you're missing half the things that you had. Where did these go?
Because they tie them in the hair and stuff. Yeah.
No, for a while there, they were.
That's I remember that. Yeah.
And their best comment was, "Oh, I love you." When you said, "Where'd all my saddle, my grizzly saddle go to?" Oh, I love you.
Right.
That doesn't answer anything.
No. Yeah. Right.
That was $70.
Yeah.
I just sold it on eBay for $700.
Yeah. And
Really?
Oh, we were selling that around here. We didn't get on top because we didn't have enough in Mammoth at the time. But down here, some of my buddies had them, and they were parceling out the ones that they had, and they were getting like $300 for a full saddle.
Really?
Yeah.
you know it's a chicken.
I,
Right?
I sold my Cree for $1,000.
Oh.
Grade 1 Cree. Sold it for a G.
Yeah, that's definitely worth partying then.
Yeah. You're like,
I was over it.
honey, steak dinner.
I was like, I'll never tie another dry fly again anyway, so whatever.
You can buy them.
Yeah.
There's a particular issue.
Well, just take the feathers. Nice
I'm surprised any of our internet guys are still out there. You guys have quieted down.
They're all robots.
They're all robots
Yep.
in some third world country roboting.
They're hacking into the U.S. government.
They're gonna expose Hillary.
Doesn't work.
Is that a jig style hook or is that the Insta?
It is a jig hook.
Does it have one enough gap?
Yeah, whatever. It's good enough for me. It's not the most gappy hook, but I've actually never had any issues. So I have a buddy who called me out like I was posting this stuff on Instagram. And he's like, "It's thread. It's thread. You're not catching anything on the thread." He's like, "You're lying to me." I'm like, "Dude, I'm not lying to you. Go fish it on the lower sack." Honestly, that thing, it's in the grass.
That was gonna work.
Hey, you gotta try. He gets done and he goes, I'm like, "How was your day? What'd you fish?" He's like, "I fished those stupid thread things that you fish."
That's your first clue it worked.
Yeah, and I was like, "So how many did you catch?" He's like, "We had one of the best days ever." And I'm like, "Cool, right on." So, yeah, I just laughed. I was like, "Yeah, there's nothing to it. Anybody can tie it. You just cut it with UV resin and then go to town. It's magic." See, I lose things on the bench too.
That's a problem. They give you too much bench space.
Not enough. I need to spread out more. Here we go. So this is, I call this fly the bash in.
What is it?
Bash in. So it stands for big ass soft tackle nymph.
Whoa. What happened earlier? I only named one fly.
I lied. I guess I have 2 fly names, but I didn't name this. My buddy looked at it and we were swinging it. I tie it like a normal soft tackle, and then I switched it over because he needed to nymph it. He's like, "I want to nymph this thing." I was like, "All right."
That's pretty.
Yeah, I mean it's not humongous, but
It'll do.
don't say Hillary and expose in the same sentence. I won't, Brent. Sorry. Hey, you guys are still out there.
Woken up.
Welcome back. You're awake now.
Now you know how to get them awake again. Whew. Yeah, actually, please don't ever say that again.
Alright, so this is just really... So I actually tie this with my soft tackle versions now too, just antenna. So it's kind of
What are you using for the antenna on that one?
just super floss. Olive. So if you tie rubber legs, like the brown ones, tie them with green olive legs. And I've actually found that the fish really like an all purple rubber leg. Just purple. All purple. You're like,
What
huh.
happens to purple when it gets down in the water? The red goes away.
I don't know.
Right.
You know?
I have no idea. They just
Right.
like purple.
I don't know either. I'm colorblind to begin with, so it doesn't matter.
Really? I forgot that.
Yeah,
I think we had that conversation.
we did.
Which indicator color do you see the best on that? Or they all kind of
Orange.
meet out? Orange?
Orange.
Okay. She had an interesting one where the guy did
You
pink.
know, yeah.
Pink
You know what I
stood
found
out.
out though? You can't make them real glossy. They've got to be the matte finish. The
Okay,
gloss
yeah.
gets lost in the glare on the water. I've made a whole bunch of them. Not a whole bunch, but several to test. I couldn't see them no matter what color they were because it's just glare.
Mm-hmm.
And when I put matte finish on them, then to show it.
I like black.
On top,
Yep.
Oh, you're prescribing to the Harry Blackburn method.
I fish a lot of black and a lot of clear indicators. They're horrible to see, but like I like them.
so they're not an indicator.
Right.
What do they
They used
use for?
to,
I guess not.
Yeah, if you
they
can't see
used to
them.
fish like when they originally started like the Crowley Lake Midging. They didn't want people to figure out Mike Peters, Harry Blackburn, stuff like that. They fished a black indicator. The problem is they're using these black indicators that are like this big, hair indicators. So when they set the hook, it looked like a freaking raven flying above you.
That's pretty cool. Not feeling that. These are just goose biots. Or turkey biots, sorry.
What's the difference?
Between a
I know,
goose and a
one comes off
tukey?
turkey. I should have done
Sometimes this length.
that. Oh, okay.
But that's like the big thing too. Like if you have a fly shop locally, go in there and buy. Like don't order that stuff online, ever. Don't order any material online. My IG handle,
Oh no, they officially have a store. for
SoCali's
store now.
23.
Is that?
Saw that. Yeah.
it. Fly fish foods. Cheats.
What's that?
They have a new
There's
store
storefront.
now.
Yeah, they have a full storefront. Yeah. I just never dig buying stuff off the interwebs because,
You can't get it in hand.
yeah, because if you get them and they're all like that long, it's like, dude, how do I type? Like this one's even questionable for me. But you see, even in here,
There you go.
there's some good ones. But you can see I've already
Use
been
mo-
most of my prime feathers.
I've used any of the stuff on the. I've never used this stuff on the side before.
This?
Yeah.
No. Actually, it does make some kind of cool bodies if you nair it. It gets real thin.
You what?
Use nair. So if you want to tie quill flies, you take this whole package of peacock and you go to nair. You just man up for a second. You know?
Nair, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Same thing with peacock and or ostrich and everything. And so you just set this down and you set all your peacock quills in there and you just nair it.
Way better. I used to take a little eraser and like
Yeah.
do it that way, but that's way cooler.
I've heard of bleach too.
Yeah, you could bleach it, but nair just takes it all right down perfect.
Well, we're in SoCal, but all the guys use Nair, right?
Right, for their
So they
chests
probably
and stuff. But then at the end, you just put it in tinfoil and then put like some hair conditioner over it. Like anything I dyed personally, I just hair condition it, so it stays nice and soft. But it'll rehydrate just because you have to think it's hair. It's a protein base. So yeah, it's a good little trick for doing your quill body stuff, especially like your cat skilly style flies, like where you're having a full blown quill body. And quills are, good quills are hard to find. So you just take a whole peacock eye and just go to town. Save yourself a bit there. See, when you get the shorties, you gotta rock double to get your thorax. I'm like really the worst dude to ask about like the thorax and abdomen. Like I have to like go to like a fly anatomy chart for some reason. Like no joke. There's like things I cannot remember. It was the same way in paramedic school. It's like I could like do. Like, you could ask me, like, the, weirdest things and,
What's
like...
this thing beating right here? I have no clue, but I
That's
know
an
it
abdomen.
pumps blood.
Thorax or abdomen, I don't know.
No, but, like, there'd be, like, weird things, like, real simple acronyms that everybody... you learn everything by, like, an acronym or whatever it was, and, like, I'd look at it and I'd be like, I don't know, but, like, I can do this long division for a dopamine calculation that's, like, weight-based divided by dosage and volumes and drip rates through tubing, and I'm like, that all visualizes out great in my head, but, like, he asked me to, like, do some, like, there's those little simple things that just elude me. So, like, when I do the descriptions for Loon Live and stuff like that, it's like, okay, yes,
Fuzzy, buggy.
yeah.
Thing.
I don't know, just put all this crap on the hook in the order that I tell you, and we'll have a fly, and it'll be awesome.
Not something writing. Was it the other day? I think it was fly fishing specialties that did it. It was like, first take a green bowl, put a thing of thread in there, put a SF, put all this other material, stir up, put in a baking pan, spread out, put in oven for 4 days, remove, flies are done.
Who did that? Specialties?
Yeah, fly fishing specialties, I think it was. It was hilarious.
Those dorks. I gotta check that out.
I was like that, I was laughing.
That is pretty good.
It said that, and then at the end it was like, or you can just buy the flies from here.
That has to be one of the best tying shops in the whole West Coast. Like, as far as materials go. Like,
It
it's
is. Is that,
crazy.
Brent that did a lot of that on that one, or?
Brent Dawson?
Yeah. Because I know he was with them for a little while. Or was that American that he was with?
I'm not sure. Americans no more.
Yeah.
Now it's like American Grizzlies, Tackle. It's a big conglomerate. I get confused with all the naming. I just like, okay.
Grizzly, Hackle, Nerd, whatever.
I think it's Grizzly, yeah, it's Keeney's American Grizzly Hackle or something. I just get lost with names of things. I know addresses and how to get to places, and I just go,
Turn left.
I'm here.
At the tree.
Hey, guys.
Turn left at the tree and the signpost. You'll see it. Can't miss it.
Coming here will take me like once or twice to remember. But
Turn at the brewery.
I didn't see
one?
a brewery. There was a
I
brewery?
live up the street, I still can't find this.
Because you're at the brewery?
That may be.
Oh, there it is.
1 of 10?
Yeah, there's a lot of breweries down here now.
Yeah.
You guys got to get better growler laws, though. In Oregon, they have growler filling stations, which are really cool.
Like on the side of the road?
Dude, there's like just like tons of like
radiator filling?
no, there's like this place like you walk in and it's just like there's like a little seating area. A lot of them sell like pub foods and stuff, but like there's like 70 beers on tap, and you just bring growlers. They have like $300 growlers with like these growlers that like 64-ounce growler, and you put like CO2 into it, and you like
Small keg.
it turns into a mini
No,
keg.
it goes into. Unfortunately, it goes with the
Awesome,
laws
Dean.
that are enjoyable in California, so you can't do that at all.
So here's what's weird. When I used to deliver for OG's Pizza, like back when it was called like what was it? Used
Back
to
when it was actually pretty
be
good.
stuffed pizza when it was stuffed. So back in the day, and we used to deliver growlers of their
Really?
beers.
You can do that.
Okay, that's
but
legal
you are not
still.
allowed to do pours of other growlers.
No, I thought that changed. I thought you could
It
bring
might
in,
have been changed.
That's been recently within the last like year or two, where you could bring in somebody else's growler and get it filled.
Really?
It was
Yes, but you're not allowed to pour other. So you can't have a place like.
like a agnostic place.
Yeah, you can't have a place and have all these different
No,
beers
no,
and
you
pour
gotta go
other
to-
people's growlers.
No.
Oh, so it has to be the actual
Yes.
brewery
Yeah.
Yes.
to fill the growler. I
Yes.
copy you now.
So yes, you are allowed to. That's actually
Yeah, 'cause-
been for a while now.
Oh
You're
yeah,
allowed
because
to
that was
fill.
ridiculous. You're like, just because
It was
I got a
the
growler,
breweries that didn't want you to do that.
yeah, you got a sticker
Huh.
from some other brewery and I can't get it filled here.
Yes.
because it's got a sticker
Interesting.
or a etched stone gall.
Yeah, no, you're allowed. You can do that any. If the brewery's cool with it, then you're allowed to do it in
Yeah.
any brewery. It's just not a lot of them are cool, and it also depends on who the bartender is and how
Yeah.
drunk they are.
Right.
You smash, sir. No. All right, I'm out. I'm done with you.
Would you like a beer, sir?
So I just put in. I like to put in a little dubbing first and foremost on these guys before I do my legs. Gives me like a solid base, and they don't rotate as much.
Yep.
And then we'll just come back in, and we just have 4 these legs. Remember, fish can't count because they're gonna think that CDC is a set of legs too.
How do you know?
I talked to them.
You can't count.
Didn't you see the sticker on my boat that I'm a fish whisperer?
I didn't see that one.
Did you see the one that says I get fly on my own supply?
Yeah. I like the one that said, "I'm a guide, not God."
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. Why can't you get me on fish today? I have no control over that.
I wouldn't last 10 seconds as a guy.
No, I wouldn't
There'd be a lot.
There's days that
get off my boat.
There'd be a lot of people swimming.
There's days that test your patience. But that's only maybe I'd say 10%.
Really?
Where you get one. 90% of people you come across are really cool. The 10%.
You like blacklist them.
Alex, you know Burl.
Mm-hmm.
I ran into her one day and she had the trip from hell. There was this couple, and they brought a little dog, and the dog, right off the bat, bit Burl. And the guy would not listen. She's an indicator nippy. He had more bellies than Santa Claus. This thing was like all over the place. And he said, "How are you going to be able to tell if you get a strike?" He goes, "Well, that's why we use such a long rod. He lifts up like this, and the indicator doesn't even move." Oh, okay. But she had it for 2 days.
Well, I had a trip with two ladies. One of them's really awesome. April, she worked for one of the big fishing companies out there. One of the big, what the hell is the name of that one? Can't remember. But the lady she brought with them, I knew I was in trouble when the first thing she said, "Oh, I learned really quickly. I'm a teacher." I'm like, oh.
Boy, you're like, we're done.
And this is
And we're talking about
for
a
what?
very strong lady. So we're at Crowley sitting there.
She looks stout.
Oh yeah. She wasn't
Brutenhilda.
like big,
Very strong lady.
but she was lumberjack.
Yeah. And what were you were fishing for trout or salmon?
Yeah, we're on
Are you still online?
Yeah, we still have a few guys.
Where are they? It's midnight in the East Coast.
It is.
That's
It is.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there
All right,
and I'm trying
I'm
to
gonna
teach
do
her
last
how
fly.
to fly cast better than what she was. So she's sitting there and I'm like, okay, all you need to do, lift up like it's a telephone, put it next to your ear. Pause, slam the telephone down like it's a telemarketer. That's all you need to do. Okay. The first cast she does, she lifts and does this around and ends up casting like that. I'm like, okay, don't do that.
Right.
So do you mind if I touch you and help you out with that cast? So I grab like this, and all of a sudden I'm in the air.
What?
Literally, I'm in the air, getting swung over the water. If you guys know, if you haven't met Otis up there, he's sitting in the next boat. All of a sudden, as I'm going airborne, I see Otis hitting floor and legs up in the air, just laughing so hard. This whole day, I'm sitting there attached to this lady's arm,
Right.
trying to make her cast properly. Every analogy I used didn't work.
Right. She's not listening.
The whole entire time, I was literally latched on an arm like this.
You were just trying to survive.
Yeah, right.
At that point, I'm trying,
Doing damage
Somehow-
control.
We hooked a 22-inch fish, and she's sitting there fighting it like this.
Oh, God.
Oh,
We landed it somehow. I have no clue how on 6
yeah,
hours.
just get me through this, please.
Yeah. The other lady, she had like 8, 9 fish already.
Right.
She
Yeah.
just
You know what's funny
handled
is-
it.
I can
You
see
know-
that for men, but for women, even with like shooting, they do better than men because they have
Yeah,
no
right.
preconceived notion of like this is how to.
Oh,
How to
Like,
do it, yeah.
This is what I saw in the
guarantee you,
movie.
75, 80% of the husband-wife trips, the husbands get annihilated. Absolutely smoked.
That's why Irene always outfishes Tim Hunt.
That's why Peggy always outfishes me.
Tim, are you listening?
She either catches more fish or the biggest fish.
Happens.
We were fishing for bass on the Ala Salt, and Peggy's on the back just fish after fish. After
Just
fish.
hammering them.
And the
Probably
guy
do.
just giving me crap. She's
yeah.
really hammered you today, Steve. Yeah. And she's sight fishing. There's a whole school that she's fishing to. And she goes, has no idea, really. Basic idea, I guess, of what she's doing. But she said, I just cast it out there and jiggle it.
I felt bad doing that.
I didn't buy her dinner that night.
You do not get dinner tonight, huh?
You're going to eat in the yard with the dog.
I took a girl that I liked out fishing to the Walker.
You're good. Go
And
There you go.
Hey, take care, guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out.
Yes, have a good one.
took a girl I liked out fishing out there, and she was just starting into fly fish, so I kind of gave her some lessons. She caught a few fish. She's like, you know, I kind of want to go out and see what I can do on my own. I'm like, all right, cool. I go out, I'm doing all right, and get like 12, 13 fish. I come back, and she was fished. I gave her 1X, 2X, and this spaceship run. Come back, I'm, oh, you're doing? I don't know, somewhere around 45, 50. No, you're BSing. I'm like, you're BSing. She goes, no. Lifts up, makes a men. Just like that much.
All right.
And she's like,
We're
how
set
many have you
up.
caught?
Not that many.
I don't think I actually said the number, but
I have to get back to my right light.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't really want to talk. I was just like,
You're all I've had enough.
I wasn't
Yeah.
really trying.
I'm gonna take my
Yeah, those
ball
are
and go
sharp.
home.
that was bad. I was really trying.
John Clayton. That's who it is.
Very nice.
Remember.
Huh?
Totally random.
Totally,
It's been
yeah.
a while.
Totally, yeah.
ESPN guy. You're right.
Oh, okay.
You're right.
Because if you're lucky you found it now, because you would have thought about that. At
Oh,
I know, it'd be
like
so
11
bizarre.
o'clock at night.
Yeah.
It's John Clayton.
Wake up
Just
in the middle of the
haunting.
night.
Yeah.
It's usually tomorrow morning in the
Yeah.
shower. When I was
You
doing
mean,
computer programming, that's when I solved a lot of programs in the shower the next morning.
Thanks, Bobby. It's a long session for you guys online here. You guys don't have all the, well, you probably have more beers because you're at home and we're more well prepared.
I'm really well prepared,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, we got a lot of beers here.
I'm usually
Okay.
drinking scotch when I'm watching it,
Yeah.
which would explain some of my typing.
Right.
I'm just lucky they don't ask me to spell things on there. I don't have to touch the interwebs. They don't. They keep me away from that stuff. Like, you just go to your cave and design some whiz bangs something.
Yeah. But whatever you do not type.
Do not type.
Yeah.
Just talk to us.
Yeah.
You do better at that.
It's like my secretary used to say, if you need copies, don't go near the copy machine, give it to me.
Yeah.
I used to
seriously.
break that thing every
I
single
hate copy machines. I don't even know how to work
And
them.
it's the simplest
Office
thing in the
Space
world.
movement?
Put it in there and it comes out. I put it in there and you just hear,
Well, I copy it
Like
like
this. The heel
Yeah.
to it.
Alright.
yeah, there's a bat. Yeah.
So this thing's gonna have like. So do any of you guys go up to Oregon ever and fish? No.
What kind of organ fishing are we talking about?
This is for the Metolius.
No,
You need to go to the Metolius.
no. The problem with the Matolas is I have to drive past the Umpqua.
No, you go the other way. You cut over and weed.
I still get too close to the Umpqua. I can't help it. Umpqua's like a bad ex-girlfriend that I have. If it just calls and I can't help myself.
You're like, was that the Odyssey where he had to strap himself to the mast and put wax in his ears from the sirens?
For the siren.
Yeah, from
Right.
Ulysses.
who took that class?
Man, I was talking to a kid and I asked if they, what was it? What was it? The Albatross. Remember the old, it was kind of poem, the Albatross, and all these books that we read. And they were like,
Well, yeah.
what are you, books? I've never seen a book.
Book.
Yeah. I was like,
Writing things?
you don't have to write like haikus and like all this weird. I was like, what the hell do they teach you? And like, I'm scared for my kids, man.
Yeah.
It is a little bit. You
Oh.
should have seen my 28-year-old daughter now when I was telling her what computers were like when I started. She said, Dad, what did you do? I said, well, I was a computer operator. Well, what's that? Started explaining that the computer's not half the size of the shop.
Yeah. You have
And-
ticker
and-
tape?
So my
Oh, we had punch cards.
Punch cards.
And punch cards, and she looked at me like, what? How does it? I said, never mind, Kristen.
It's like the computer is the size of your fridge.
So my father-in-law was the head
No,
of
this was before DOS.
Before DOS.
Oh, it was before DOS. Please.
my father-in-law was the head of like IT, and he had this box in his garage, and for a hospital. I'm like, so what's that box? You know, what's the story on it? You know, it's this huge thing like this, and he goes,
Articulated?
yeah, triple articulated. He goes, yeah, it's 2 gigabyte, and it was like
really?
this racks,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Holy.
and like, I'm like, 64.
My
gigabytes.
watch right there.
That little micro SD card.
Yeah,
The discs were this big.
right.
Were this big around, and ours were 5 layers. And I remember we used to do tours. I was at a college, and the Boy Scouts and the Cub Scouts would come in and we'd give the tour. And this one
Like,
kid
this is
couldn't
the
get it.
computer
He kept going,
lab.
what happens when it's over? You know, because it looked like an LP.
Right.
Well, what do you do when it's over? It's like, go on, good. It never really is over. We ran a whole college on it.
Well, it's crazy to think that, you know, most watches nowadays like
Oh.
have more computing technology than what put people on the moon.
Oh, the cars are way beyond it.
Yeah.
So this is actually
Which
a
makes you
really
realize how brave those guys were.
Yeah.
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 that's kind of lost with a lot of the younger kids.
Oh, I know.
That whole theories of like
Yeah. They don't even understand.
We're going to shoot you to the moon, and maybe you'll get there.
Like, even getting on
And now we
Getting
can't.
So how are you aiming us? Oh, we're shooting from the hip. We're all good.
Yeah, right. It should go like this.
we got this. Whoa.
And now we can't even make it like a dishwasher that lasts more than a year. That's what
Well,
I
that's by
did.
design.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, we learned that the hard way.
For me, it's now like, would it be calling? No, but I emailed them. Really? You didn't call him?
Yeah, right.
That drives
What's
me.
he calling him?
That drives me bonkers. Like emailing like a one-liner with for a response. I'm like, and then like knowing that it's not done. Nothing drives me more batty than that. It's like, did you get this? Yes. Okay, cool. I need you to do this, this, and this. Did you understand that? Yes. Okay, cool. Because you're gonna do this, this. Just call me.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't call me the next time, I'm gonna drive wherever you are. I'm gonna
So much easier.
give you something you're not gonna like.
Or they email you
I have
and
to
then
do that. I always call my girlfriend. She starts doing the multiple, like, 12 line of text.
Text, yeah.
I'm
just
like,
call us.
I'm like, what's going on?
right. You're taking longer to text me to type everything
Oh,
out and put all
I
this.
can't keep up with that. I mean, I've got fisherman thumbs.
Right. Right.
She's standing there like, damn it, I have to delete that. I get like halfway through,
And
like
then
a
autocorrects half the
thing.
stuff.
Yeah, halfway correct, and then she sends me something new.
Yeah.
Delete everything else and start reading again.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not the biggest the computer guy. I'm definitely not the company computer guy. Like
Computers have a working relationship, and that is we dislike each other.
exactly. That I need a new one like every 2 years because mine gets destroyed. Not due to anything other than me kicking it out of anger. It's underneath the desk. I'm like, teach you an adamant object of thinking.
The problem is they're too much yes and no. They don't take anything literally. It's either yes on this or no. There's no gray area in between. You tell it,
Are you talking about computers or women?
yeah.
Both.
Well,
That's a very cross applicable statement.
I take that back instantly.
When I used to teach the students, I used to tell the students right away, it just does exactly what you told it to do.
Yeah.
Not what you thought you told it to do.
Right.
Not what
If you say 2
wanted
steps
it,
and take it to the left,
Not
which
what-
actually meant 3
not
steps.
what you wanted it to do. One of the first exercises, my first computing class, was the guy said we had to do what we call flowcharts, which is just a diagram of what
Right.
you're going to do. He says, okay, now diagram what you do when you get up in the morning and go to the sink to brush your teeth. Do a flowchart. It's hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. You know, people ended up in the.
Dude,
You
I
have
thought
to think of every single,
Step.
every, and then like I did payroll programming for a while. This one lady, we started putting leave balances in for vacation. I remember her name, Mary. I said, Mary, what do you want me to do when Matt requests 10 days of vacation, but our records only say he has 8? You know, we're doing this in batch.
Yeah.
You know, at night at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're gone.
Right.
And I'm the computer operator, you know.
Right.
And she's like, and her answer was, that hardly ever happens. I said, Mary, if this number goes negative, you know, the computer's going to stop.
Right.
And my operator's going to call me and say, oh, Steve, what do I do? And she's like, well, I said, you know, you want me to give him the 2 days? Do you want to use up all he has and put out an error? You know, there's a lot of things.
Right.
Oh, that
Do
hardly
you
ever
ever back over on any when you do any of the
That hardly ever
articulated
happens.
stuff?
What do you mean?
Like go back through the eye.
No.
That's your bottle brush.
I could put like I'll bend the hook out before that pulls out of there. Like I put it in a vise and like pulled, and like the hook goes before that actually fails.
Yeah, it's really strong.
Super strong. Like crazy silly. Like guys are like, oh yeah, you got to go through the hook eye. You got to do all this. I was like, no, I want a nice hook eye. Like so when it's dark and I'm standing on Steelhead River, like.
Yeah.
Trying to put like some 15 pound through that, like, and I got up like after 2 hours of sleep. Yeah, I don't want to mess with it. So yeah, I've never had any problems. And like I sent like Sherman, like when he did his what is it? That trip to he was the first dude that.
Arapaima?
No, not the Arapaima. The Russian that Timon trip that he did. That like exploratory.
Yep.
Yeah.
That video that's on the Drake. So like all the flies that you see in that video, like I tied them all for Sherman's trip, and those things were gagger big, and they like did not even bend that out.
Sea run timing, if I'm correct on that.
Yep, yeah, it is.
That's in Russia, right?
Seagull timing?
Yeah, sea run tiger timing.
They're cool.
Yeah, like I remember John telling me about the trip. I was like, huh. When I saw the video, I was like, that's cool. I don't like flying in airplanes, so it's not something I'm doing, but
Or a Soviet military helicopter.
Yeah.
World War I.
Yeah. Or the communist countries. I would
Well,
go
the
to
problem
Cuba,
isn't
though.
that. It's the operator that comes with it is from the same day as the
Right.
plane.
Right. Yeah, like, who's gonna, you gonna have a heart attack flying us?
I remember I had one guy that had,
oh, good
dad
question,
was like a nut for him
Dean.
for driving, and
Yeah,
he's
I
sitting in the
have
plane up in Alaska,
some Senio
old
wire
school
and some old
World War II
Conoflex
that
right
we're in.
now.
He goes, it's gonna get a little bumpy here. All of a sudden we lost about 700 feet
jeez.
and then shot back up about 1,000. Sphincters are tight.
I
That's
bet.
sketchy.
Very tight.
I bet you smell like that,
Bucktail.
Bucktail. Yeah.
You were bucktail.
Oh no, it smelled a lot worse than bucktail in there. I can guarantee you that. That first drop got me. That second drop got the rest of us.
Gnarly.
It's just funny. We're gonna have a
Oh,
little
my.
bit of a bump.
That's alright, watch this. I'll save it.
Twice tonight.
No.
Mm-hmm. It's the lighting.
It's nice to know that it's not only me.
Yeah, mine.
I did it 3 times in a row. They just wrapped me onto it.
I'm surprised Waterman didn't show up. He would have.
Yeah,
Heckled
he
me.
said he was gonna come.
I'm gonna give him a hard time.
Please.
Michelle didn't let him out of the house.
Yeah. He needed a note.
He didn't get his hall pass.
He
He didn't get his
you.
note.
He was a penis boy on the.
Oh,
Yeah, that was him under alias.
Yeah.
his wiener talk.
Yeah.
So this is actually a baby or a spawning kokanee. That's what this is going to end up being. So on the Metolius, they get these runs of kokanees, but they're like pretty small, like 6 to 8 inches. And the bull trout come up and they just devour them.
I was about to say, so I could use this on, I got a place up in Sandpoint, Idaho, I could use it on Ponderay.
Do they have kokanee?
Yep.
Yeah. There you go.
Alright. I got big freaking rainbows in there.
They'll probably eat the kokanee.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they're big.
Anything that eats something else is good in my book.
Yeah.
Something bigger than a mayfly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, they're just smolts.
Yeah.
You like how you're smolt. You go to the ocean, you come back, now you're cool.
Yeah, I gotta try that now.
What's all the names of these articulated flies, like the sex dungeon and like...
It's not the sex dungeon anymore because that's not allowed. It's now just the dungeon.
Oh, okay. all
Why
right.
is it not allowed?
Oh,
Well, you go Google search sex dungeon and see what you get.
No. I know. I can only imagine.
If
But
you want to see something interesting, just go over there and check out Kelly Gobbett Slide In. You'll see some very entertaining
Oh,
ones
boy.
there.
Oh, well, that's like the one that had the domain that was thewhitehouse.org or something like that when it first came out.
Oh,
It was
gosh,
a porn
that's right.
site. It was a porn site.
Whoever got that was thinking ahead right there.
Sliding.
The Zoo Cougar.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it gets, no, those are the clean ones.
Oh, boy.
so they do that on purpose just because people are
They
like
know.
Googling
Yeah.
like
Oh no, that's just
Zoo
Kelly
Cougar
Gobbett.
pattern. Oh.
Kelly's very interesting dude.
I've heard that cover from a lot of people. It's like, oh, kill some gallop.
So when you got your kids fly, or flip the fly rod, was he using that Echo Gecko or something, or?
Yeah, they have Echo Geckos.
All right.
They're pretty. I mean, for the price, it's awesome. They have
Yeah.
a little 2 hands. They dig it.
My
It's hard to
4-year-old's
break those
like,
little guys too.
4-year-old's super into fishing, and he wants to fly fish, but that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, my son's tried it a couple times in the bay from the shore, and we had, unbeknownst to us, we had 2 large stingrays at low tide come cruising in one after another, like about 5 minutes. The wings were coming out. They were
Really?
like wide like that. So I'm like, just chuck the minnow in front of it. Chuck
Just
it. We'll
look
see
at
what
it.
happens.
Well.
Yeah.
Just attack it. Are there any big eyes in here?
Because we're seeing it was like right at dusk, and we're seeing this
That's
like
when they come out at dusk and you'll see them at night too.
yeah at night.
I've had them do the back of the leg, like come back and you're sitting out there at night and all of a sudden you feel this on your leg.
You guys need to go fly. When I talking about spearing and stuff, like in the darkness, like free diving at night, I had like a 6-foot leopard.
So sketchy.
I had a 6-foot leopard like swim out of the darkness right up to my light
God.
and just bail. And I freaked out.
Left a little trail behind.
Yeah,
Right?
scent trail.
And the kelp of the day is freaking up. I
You
can't
left
believe you
a
did
bucktail trail behind.
Yeah. You got a wetsuit on, so that's not like a skip in the suit.
Yeah.
I used to always do that up at Grandview.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's some really good lobster diving there.
Interesting.
Shh, internet, don't listen.
All right. Noted.
Oh, which brush? This brush, if you're talking about this magic brush, it comes from Enrico Pugliese. It's an EP brush. He uses it for his mustache and fly tying. No, I'm joking.
And the trimmer as well.
Yeah.
That's an EP
That's
trimmer.
a tree trimmer.
I'm getting sponsored by Remington next week. It's going to be dope. Next year we'll have the Loon beard trimmer.
Right.
Well, you already. Is it you guys that have the mask with the beard on it?
Yeah, that was my creation because I can't grow a legitimate beard. So I was like, I want this and a mask. And they're like, done. It's like, thank you. We had it.
Is it weird if like somebody has a beard and was wearing that?
Right, you like pull it down and you still got the beard, you're like, watch this.
Yeah, if he is twice as big, it's just.
You're like, haha.
Yeah, I ordered some buffs from SA Fishing, and one of them is,
Alright.
ordered 2 for my sons, and one of them has a mustache, like a face and a mustache on it, so it should be fun. All the rest of them had like faces, and usually they had like a cigarette out of their mouth or something. I was like, that's weird.
Yeah.
I should wear those for guiding. That'd be good. That's like always the first thing a lot of clients ask you. So your guide? Yep. On a boat. Booked a trip. Hope so. So you smoke weed? No. No, I'm cool, man. No, you're not cool then. Alrighty. Look at that. 2 hours and 59 minutes.
On the money.
Alright guys, I'm going to sign out here. I'm going to do my secret trick so you don't watch me fumble with the chingaderas. Thanks for tuning in on the live side.